the 22 through 24 seasons. Would this be the one real circumstance where, he'd be really pumped to play and win this game?
Yeah, outside of if he went anywhere else and came back to Winnipeg.
To Winnipeg,
right?
yeah.
Sure, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And what derailed him, and who knows, if it wasn't for the knee injury, he might still be here, right? And Winnipeg wouldn't have had an opportunity to grab him again, and Buffalo might have settled in on him, and Ukko-Pekka Lokinen, and Lokinen will get the start for Buffalo tonight. But yeah, you're right. I mean, this would be as close to him wanting to come back and prove something to the administration and management, certainly of the Buffalo Sabres. It doesn't strike me, though, that Eric's that kind of guy that wants to throw it in somebody's face, but there is some motivation. And Chewy makes a really good point. That win was so important for the Jets the other night, Saturday in Nashville, but really uber important for Eric Comrie. There's a difference when you have ownership as a backup goalie and you can help contribute. Now you want to contribute on a nightly basis. It's not just once a week or once every week and a half, right? You want to be able to do it on a consistent basis. And I think it was important for him to get that win and get off the schneid of a 3-game losing skid. Let's see if he can follow it up today. But there's extra motivation for him for sure. So I look for Eric Comrie to have a stellar game.
Yeah, speaking of motivation, Mitchell Clinton, Nino Niederreiter, Cole Perfetti, they get off the schneid Saturday night, and I know you addressed this a bit during that broadcast, but what do we think about a ripple effect for the other 7 bottom 9 forwards still in goal-scoring slumps?
Oh, you really hope for it, that's for sure, especially because, as much as, you're able to get those two on the board in terms of actually scoring goals. I mean, the fact that Nemestikov had gone 11 games without a point, he gets on the board with an assist. I look at Jonathan Toews in a similar way, and Alex Iafallo had no points in 6 games. So it's just kind of you're starting to get, as much as all those guys want to score goals as well, just getting an assist, getting a point, and feeling that contribution, kind of like what you guys were just talking about Eric Comrie and wanting to contribute to the team. That's exactly it. I mean, when you're those guys that are on those lines and you see, the Scheifele line going out night after night and putting up points, especially the Washington game, and you're trying your hardest to find a way to get something to go, and it's just not going. You're losing games. You're like, we're capable of doing this, is what the heck's going on here. And finally you're able to break through. I think you really hope for a ripple effect, and it was part of the reason, and I know Colin Miller's a defenseman, but it's part of the reason I asked him today about, that game against Nashville, the win. Was it a little bit more closer to the identity that they want to forge? Because Winnipeg was physical in that. And you look at the Cole Perfetti goal, he takes a hit to make the play. Jonathan Toews behind the net gets a stick on a puck, also takes a hit to make the play, and all of a sudden it's on Nemestikov's stick and it's out in front, and bang, it's in the back of the net for Cole Perfetti. It's all those little things that Winnipeg was doing well. They just finally got the reward for it, and now all those lines are hoping that those rewards continue to come.
Yeah, and you could almost say, Mitchell, that Vlad Nemestikov took a hit to make the play, because he took that hit, was out of the game, and that was the first play he made when re-entering the game.
Yeah, exactly. And it was wild, because I'm looking up, Vlad Nemestikov, and over the course of the year, obviously he had his 200th career assist earlier this year, but I mean, that was the last time he had an assist, and that was in like mid-October. It was just nuts. He was just kind of sat on 200 career assists. Now, he had some goals over the course of that, but nice for him to add to that career number and make it 201. And now, we'll see if that gets the offense rolling for all those guys.
All right, gentlemen, it usually is a very interesting game between these two teams. Generally very close and down to the wire in Buffalo, so we'll see if that repeats itself. Paul Edmonds, Mitchell Clinton from the broadcast booth. So here's another tester for you, Mr. O'Mell. Try to figure out the Buffalo Sabres, who I have classified as the enigma of the National Hockey League.
Well, I don't know if I'm capable of doing that either, Kelly. I don't think anybody's been able to do it. They've had several general managers, a bunch of head coaches, and all kinds of talent come through those doors, and it hasn't made a difference. It's a shame, because that place goes nuts when the hockey team is good. Those mid-2000s runs they had were awesome, and they're such a distant memory now. It truly is astonishing to think that, in this day and age, you don't even luck into a season where you're relevant, right? It's not just 14 years. Most of those, they had no chance and weren't even close. right? And it's baffling that they haven't been able to string it together, and it doesn't seem like this year is all that much different, right? It's sitting near the bottom of the East for most of the season. And I don't really get it. They've got some good young talent, but part of it, I think that they've never really had the goalie, but then when they haven't been able to score. And you're right, Kelly. Enigma is a good word because it's hard to put together why on earth they just haven't been able to get it right.
Yeah, I know you're a little too young to remember the odd in Buffalo, but as a young man growing up in the wilds of Owen Sound, did you ever make the trek down to Buffalo to watch Sabres games?
Oh, yeah. No, it's cheaper to go there than Toronto. So I've been to one Maple Leafs game and probably 4 or 5 Buffalo games.
Yeah.
That's where we would go. We saw the World Juniors there, too, when they were in Buffalo once. So it was fun to go see the games there. That was like, that was when they had that weird slug, the Buffa slug, they called it. So that was like Max Afinogenov and Chris Drury, Daniel Briere, those when they were pretty good there, Ryan Miller in net. But no, it was awesome to go see games there. And it just isn't anymore because the team's never good.
Buffalo might get a bump tonight, though, Chewy, with I want to say the return of Josh Norris, but I mean, he played 2 periods and a bit in the season opener, so maybe the debut kind of Josh Norris this evening on that number 1 line.
Yeah, he's going to add a little excitement to this hockey club for sure. He's at that number 1 center position for a reason. He drives plays. He's really offensive minded. But the one thing I think that has really come into his game over the last kind of, I would say, year and a half, maybe, 2 years, is his 200-foot game. He's become a responsible center, but he can still drive a line, drive a hockey club offensively. He shoots the puck well, his knack for the net. All those little tendencies is going to add a little bit of consistency. Now, all of a sudden, the Sabres have a number 1 centerman on that top line with those other 2 wingers. And you look at those other 2 guys, Tage Thompson, Zach Benson, those guys don't need any help this year. Tage Thompson can, he's been winning hockey games for this hockey club by himself. But now all of a sudden you add somebody who can give him pucks where he wants those pucks or be able to take pucks in the zone and let Tage Thompson come in late, which we've seen all the highlight reels of him scoring that way. It's going to be really interesting to see if they can get their synergy back together.
Yeah, interesting. Tage Thompson with 12 goals to lead the team in that category. Zach Benson, no goals, 9 assists, but maybe having a playmaker like Josh Norris might be able to help him a little bit. All right, we'll come back and take a look at what's ahead on the scoreboard with Christian. The coach will have his keys to the game next in this first of 2 meetings this week between the Jets and Sabres on 680 CJOB.
Jets fans, feel that true North chill and the heat on home ice. Tuesday, December 9th at 7. Your Winnipeg Jets face the Dallas Stars in a matchup you won't want to miss. Get your tickets now at winnipegjets.com/tickets. That's winnipegjets.com/tickets.
Oh, baby!
Good times don't have to cost a lot with Tavern United's Happier Hour. Enjoy bevies starting at $2.99 and appies starting at $4.99 every day from 3 to 6 and again from 9 to close. Plus, Tavern United has all-day Happier Hour on Tuesdays. Fried mozzarella sticks, salt and pepper dry ribs, the best wings in town, and so much more. A great time out doesn't have to break the bank with Happier Hour at all Tavern United locations. Manitoba owned, grown, and proud. See more at tavernhappierhours.ca. Enjoy responsibly.
Mike here for Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools. We asked our customers why they shop with us, and here's what they had to say.
Convenience on my main tools, Makita, Milwaukee, Rigid.
It's definitely the staff. They're the best of anywhere that I go.
Because all the guys and gals on the counter speak my language and they know what I want.
It's as close to one shop stopping as I will get.
Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
things are calming down this Monday evening. However, we do have delays on northbound Pembina headed to Confusion Corner. Southbound Keniston is still moving slow near Lindenwood. If you're traveling southbound on St. Anne's, expect some heavy traffic as you get closer to Abinogi-Meekina. Northbound Disraeli is moving slow near Talbot, and eastbound Nerin is still backed up approaching La Jamodiere. On now, get up to $900 off at the Super Redemption event at Shoppers Drug Mart when you redeem up to 500,000 PC Optimum points. Details in store. That's 680 CJOB traffic. I'm Devoza.
Hey, it's Kyle Connor, and this is the Winnipeg Jets pregame show with Kelly Moore and the panel on 680 CJOB.
Remember, Kyle Connor scored a big goal in Buffalo for a win a couple of years ago. As we're walking you back to the Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools pregame show, shop where the professional tradespeople shop. Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools at 1557 King Edward Street with the coach, Dwayne Gillowoychuk, Christian O'Mell, host of the CJOB Sports Show, standing by to tee up the Monday night scoreboard. But, Coach, what do you have for keys to tonight's game?
Well, I think first and foremost, we've seen a lot better puck management by the Winnipeg Jets when they played in Nashville. I think it's got to continue tonight. They've got to make good puck decisions, whether they're breaking the puck out, they're coming through the neutral zone, or putting pucks behind this Buffalo D. They need to put pucks in better spots than where they found it. They just can't get rid of pucks. They can't make whole plays with the puck. They got to be connected. It's got to be a tape-to-tape pass, or they got to put it somewhere where one of their teammates can win a foot race. They can't just turn over pucks, especially against some of this defensemen with the Buffalo Sabres. And they can't turn over pucks in the neutral zone because some of these forwards like Tage Thompson, we talked about, Josh Norris, Jack Quinn, they're going to make you pay very quickly, as we've seen in some of the highlights of this hockey club. And I think the other one is this team habits. They've got to play clean. They've got to have good communication. They've got to have great line changes, change when they can, have good puck management, and they've got to defend quick against, take away time and space. So I think it's just all about the team habits tonight is the most important thing.
Yeah, against a team like Buffalo, who are on the younger side, one of the key improvement areas that I noticed on Saturday night, Coach, it wasn't as easy for Nashville to get up the ice as it had been for Carolina or Washington or some of the teams the Jets had played previously. They've got to make sure they can get back to being that difficult team to play against, especially through the neutral zone.
They do. They've got to defend in groups of five, and we've talked about it numerous times, the backside pressure, that where D now are able to defend the red line. And in some of the games where Winnipeg hasn't had success is that they backed up and they are all of a sudden at their blue line. When you let teams attack you at your blue line, you're giving up a lot of territorial advantage. And against Nashville, they were groups of five coming back. The D were aggressive. They turned a lot of pucks over, transition out the weak side, and were on that attack end, which we haven't seen very much of lately with this hockey club. All right, Coach, we'll talk to you in the first intermission to get some analysis on what you've seen through 20 minutes. Christian O'Mell, not a whole lot underway around the National Hockey League, but I'll tell you, it's always a potential powder keg when Pittsburgh and Philadelphia get together.
That's right. They've played about 9 minutes so far, and nobody has yet scored. There's been one penalty in this hockey game, but 0-0 there. Also underway, the Devils scored twice in the first 3:03. They're up 2-0 on the Jackets 8 minutes in. We have a 7 o'clock start time in St. Louis, where the Blues are hosting the Ducks. At 9 o'clock, the Mammoth are in San Jose, and that's it. There's only 5 games tonight in the NHL. One game in the NFL doesn't look too appetizing, as the Giants visit the Patriots at 7:15. And then keeping an eye as well on the Manitoba High School 4A volleyball championship. The girls' final is just underway. Defending champion Vincent Massey of Brandon up 21-11 in the first set on Collège Jean Sauvé.
All right, and of course, St. Paul's and Dakota playing the boys' final at 8 o'clock. And, Christian, it's one of those nights, and there are going to be many, many of them as we proceed through December, January, and so on and so forth. But that Utah-San Jose matchup, it doesn't matter if the Jets win tonight. One of those teams, or potentially both of them, could remain ahead of Winnipeg in the standings if it turns out to be another one of those 3-point games. But that's why I think this week, which we started Saturday against Nashville, but playing 3 in a row against 2 teams that are sitting in last place, absolutely critical for the Winnipeg Jets.
Totally. These are games you got to win. Absolutely. And didn't think it would be as pressing at the start of the season as it is right now, but that's where they are. And hey, look at all the OTLs that have piled up for some teams. The Jets don't have any, right? And so many other teams have 4, 5, 6, 7, and it just completely skews the standings. I don't like the loser point, Kelly, but that's a topic for a different day.
Yeah, no, you've got the St. Louis Blues who have 7 overtime losses and are just 1 point back of the Winnipeg Jets as a result of that. So it is a good point you bring up. All right, that's it for the Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools pregame show. Big thanks to Mike McIntyre of the Winnipeg Free Press who joined us earlier on the pregame show. Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton are standing by. Christian O'Mell will continue to keep an eye on that scoreboard, including those 4A provincial volleyball finals taking place at Investors Group Athletic Center. The coach will have analysis, and we also want to thank the maestro, Milroy, for his production values on this pregame show and throughout tonight's broadcast. Before Puck Drop News is next on 680 CJOB.
You have been listening to the official Winnipeg Jets pregame show. Getting ready for Puck Drop with Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton. Coming right up on 680 CJOB.
Got pain? Meet the Manitoba Physiotherapy Association, a professional organization fostering excellence in practice, education, and research with over 500 licensed physiotherapists and physiotherapy students in the province. The goal of MPA is to advance the profession of physiotherapy and to improve the health of Manitobans. So when you visit your physiotherapist, you can rest assured that you'll have received the highest standard of care. And if you don't already have a physiotherapist, you can learn more and find one at mbphysio.org.
Uncover your reason to try Cambrian Credit Union. Is it banking for free with their unfee, undoing your debt with their payoff loan, or unleaving your house to meet their advisors by video? Simplify your banking with support from their team. Cambrian has unbelievable gratitude for the almost 70,000 local members choosing Team Cambrian for support along their financial journey. Wherever you're going, Cambrian can help you take your next financial steps. Uncover Cambrian Credit Union at cambrian.mb.ca.
Christmas is just around the corner, and Santa Lucia Pizza knows just how difficult it can be to pick out the perfect gift. If you've got a pizza lover on your list, you could give them a pizza, but a pizza box is pretty hard to wrap. Make it way easier with a Santa Lucia Pizza gift card. You can make it for any denomination, then pick it up. Order it online at santaluciapizza.com or even have it delivered with your next order. Give the gift of Santa this year, a Santa Lucia Pizza gift card.
This ad is Santa approved.
News and information is more important now than ever. CJOB is working for you, getting the answers your family needs and bringing you into the conversation. 680 CJOB, Winnipeg's news, today's talk.
Global news at Puck Drop. I'm Noah Fuchs. The search is underway for the remains of Ashley Shingoose at the Brady landfill. She was one of 4 First Nations women killed by convicted serial killer Jeremy Skibitsky. The first truckload of debris at the landfill was transferred to a search facility where workers will comb through it for the remains. Premier Wab Canute took part in a ceremony at the site with Shingoose's parents and her sister to mark the start of the search. In other news, Algoma Steel plans to lay off more than 1,000 workers over the coming months.
Union President Bill Slater says the company issued about 1,000 layoff notices this morning, including about 150 to his members. The job cuts come as Algoma has accelerated plans to shut down its blast furnace and coke oven operations as it transitions to more efficient electricity-based steel production. The company also reported almost $500 million in losses last quarter as the 50% tariffs on steel imposed by the U.S. effectively shut it out of the market. Michelle Zedekian, The Canadian Press.
Lastly, a new survey shows how teenagers already dislike the news media. The News Literacy Project asked teens to describe today's news media in one word, and 84% responded with something negative. About half of the teens surveyed believe journalists give advertisers special treatment, and about 6 in 10 say journalists regularly take photos and videos out of context. Experts say few teens follow news regularly or learn in school about the purpose of journalism. And now it's time for Winnipeg Jets hockey right here on 680 CJOB.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Winnipeg Jets Hockey Club is expressly prohibited. Live from KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York, This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB. Now here's the voice of your Winnipeg Jets, Paul Edmonds.
With respect, going into Nashville and winning a hockey game has never been an easy task, and it's especially difficult when you've lost 4 straight games and are free-falling in the standings. But credit the Winnipeg Jets on Saturday night because they rolled into Music City in a slumping posture and struck all the right notes to record an important win. Now the key for the Jets as they continue on this road trip is to find a way tonight in Buffalo to build on that win, especially against a Sabres team that might be the most unpredictable in the National Hockey League right now. For Winnipeg, if they are truly intent on heading upward in the standings, that being upward in the standings, they'll need to find a way to win a 5th straight game here in Western New York, and thus even their record on this extended road trip. And Mitchell Clinton, the month of November was certainly disappointing for Winnipeg, but it ended with a victory over a division rival. If they can begin the month of December with a win as well, then perhaps the climb in the Central Division can follow as well.
That's right, Paul. Just think of what a win in this building does for the Winnipeg Jets at this point of the road trip. You earned 2 points tonight. You even the record on the road trip. And then, after dropping the first 2 games on the trek, have a chance at a winning record on this 5-gamer in the finale on Wednesday. Just mentally, given all the difficulties that November presented, that would be a welcome situation to be in when the team hops on the plane tonight. To get there, though, Winnipeg will have to be every bit as competitive on every single puck as they were in Nashville 2 nights ago. After all, Buffalo is a motivated group as well as they're trying to climb the standings in the East and build off the momentum of a victory in Minnesota. Nothing comes easy in the NHL, and tonight won't be any different.
It's the Jets and the Buffalo Sabres, and it's coming up next. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Hi, it's Hal Anderson, host of Connecting Winnipeg. I love hearing from you live during the show, weekdays 10 to noon on CJOB, but I know that's not always possible. Well, now you can leave me a message on Hal's hotline, 204-774-8255. That's 774-TALK. It's your chance to connect with the show 24/7. Hal's hotline for DeLucas. Listen for your message and my reaction on Connecting Winnipeg on 680 CJOB.
Jet fans, it's your chance to win big with the Winnipeg Jets 50-50 presented by Play Now. Down low, Velarde out in front. He scores! When you text Jets to 20450, you could take home half the jackpot, and the other half helps youth in Manitoba. A great right pass save. He had to be cat-like on that. Don't miss out. Text Jets, Jets, to 20450 now.
This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Winnipeg comes into this game at 13-11, looking to climb in the standings. They are still 6th in the Central Division. Winnipeg with 26 points, but a win tonight, and they would vault ahead and move a little bit closer to that wild card line. Buffalo, again, same thing as the Winnipeg Jets. A couple wins, and they're only away from getting back toward that line. They are in 8th spot, certainly in the Atlantic Division, and this is the first time that Winnipeg will play an Atlantic Division team. The Jets last year were 11-5 against the former Adams Division, and the Buffalo Sabres at 10-11-4. Interesting quirk in the schedule. Once again, you saw basically Carolina play in Winnipeg, and then the Jets go to Carolina within a week, and then same thing. You'll play Buffalo tonight, and then Friday night when you get home, you'll see Buffalo at home. So you're going to see the Sabres twice in less than a week. And the Sabres, this will be the second time they've done that. They saw San Jose on a home and home with San Jose from Buffalo earlier this season as well. I want to just harken back to not necessarily just the things that were talked about post-game from Saturday by Scott Arniel. We'll touch on that, Mitchell. But something that I thought Luke Schenn talked about post-game Saturday as well, and he had a big game. Dylan Sandberg had a big game. The whole roster had an important game and contributions right through. But he was asked about the physicality of the game against Nashville, and I asked the question both to Dylan Sandberg and to Scott Arniel today about the environment that was Saturday night and going into that, and whether that drew the best out of the Winnipeg Jets. I feel it did. Never really got the answers that I thought I was going to get out of that, but nonetheless, sometimes we ask and you don't necessarily get what you think is going to come back, and sometimes you ask a question that's rather innocuous and you get a great answer and something really profound. I digress, but the physicality aspect has always been something about when Winnipeg has played against the Predators. And I think by extension, this is what Luke was talking about. He said, I think it's needed against everyone. Obviously, some teams are a little more physical than others that you play, but that shouldn't really change our identity. So what he's saying there is our identity is to be physical, and we are physical, and when we are successful.
Yeah, some big bodies on that back end for the Winnipeg Jets, especially when Luke Schenn's in the lineup. And, you know, you hear so often Winnipeg talk about being hard to play against, but more often than not, they're referencing, you know, forecheck pressure or the pace that they like to play with in terms of speed and puck movement and whatnot. But at the core of it, still, sometimes is making things miserable for the other team, and that sometimes is hits. And, you know, Winnipeg out-hit Nashville a lot, and I know sometimes when it comes to hits, you can say, well, does that mean you don't have the puck all night? And I didn't feel that was the case against the Nashville Predators. The 5-on-5 analytics were relatively even. I think Nashville held a slight edge, but more often than not, that's because they're trying to get back into the game in the third period, so things got a little bit skewed there. But when Winnipeg is physical, it adds to how difficult they are to play against. And I think of, you know, obviously Luke Schenn in that category, and then Logan Stanley as well, and a couple of big hits in that game. He had the fight, of course, but they didn't go over the line to put themselves in penalty trouble as well. So there's obviously that fine balance that they have to walk, but you're right. It's kind of the identity of the Winnipeg Jets is to be hard to play against. Physicality has something to do with it, and that was kind of part of the question that I asked Colin Miller this morning. Similar vein, just about, is that close to the identity that you guys want to have for 60 minutes? And he said yes. And, you know, obviously it's a tough game to play in consecutive nights, especially when you're in a 6 of 9 like Winnipeg is. But at the same time, if you are able to do that and play that way, you are hard to play against, and that's exactly what the Winnipeg Jets want to be.
So let's, by extension, talk more about the physicality, and you raise a good point. There is an assertion that you can really pile up the hits when you're chasing the game and you don't have the puck.
Right.
But the physicality also comes from winning puck battles and 50-50 battles. And Scott Arniel said there was a lot of one-on-one battles that we won, and we won a lot of them on Saturday. For Winnipeg, that's part of their DNA. That's part of their foundation. That's part of what Winnipeg Jets hockey is all about. And they need to do it here again tonight. Now, the trick comes with a team that's young and fast, and this Buffalo team is the second youngest team in the league, and they are quick. And Winnipeg's run into a lot of those teams. But here's where Winnipeg is successful as well. Getting on teams like this on the forecheck, winning those battles down low, and being quick, not necessarily fast, but quick to get on the puck and hem teams in with that veteranness that they have, certainly right through the lineup.
Yeah, and usually, you know, as a veteran, you've seen a lot of things in the game of hockey. And, you know, Gabriel Velarde came on with us at the first intermission and mentioned the forecheck and how Winnipeg was doing well in that regard. And he said it was just predictable. You, as, say, F2, knew what F1 was going to do, and you were able to take away the option. And, you know, you can have a young back end. I mean, players like Rasmus Dahlin, Bowen Byram, Owen Power, they're starting to get more and more games under their belt, so they're not necessarily as young as they were previously. So they're going to be used to a little bit of pressure, but that still doesn't mean it's easy to make plays under that pressure, especially if you don't necessarily have the puck support where you need it to be at the precise moment that you need it. So if Winnipeg's able to cause a little bit of confusion back there below the goal line in the Buffalo zone and go to work using that forecheck and making things difficult for Buffalo in terms of clean breakouts, well, again, that plays right into the identity that Winnipeg wants to play, right? They want to make other teams defend. They want to spend a bunch of time in their zone so that when they do break the puck out, well, all they've really got left in the tank is, well, let's flip this thing out, get a change, and then Winnipeg can just go right back at them again. So, you know, obviously the forecheck's going to play a significant role. It's a big part of who the Winnipeg Jets are, and I'll be curious to see if they're able to duplicate that effort tonight.
I'm looking at a specialty teams battle, and Winnipeg not very good on this trip. 1 for 8 with the power play, but the penalty kill is certainly really good for Buffalo. that's the second best overall in the league. But boy, Winnipeg can help themselves along if they can find their way to a power play goal, and a power play that was best in the entire league last year that sits at 10th overall. Not a bad spot.
No, yeah.
But when you've been the number one power play and you've returned everybody that was on it last year, especially the number one unit, and you've dropped 9 spots, well, people start to wonder if it can duplicate what it did a season ago.
Yeah, it's funny because you almost get spoiled when Winnipeg was rolling along at 30% for a big chunk of last year, and you're starting to think, well, power play is just easy stuff, right? And I mean, even this morning, seeing them kind of work things around on the power play, they were getting frustrated when they weren't making the passes or the plays that they wanted to. But the big thing that they had to practice this morning was going up against a PK that plays with as much pressure as Buffalo's does. So you could hear the coaching staff yelling at the Killers to go, and pressure the Winnipeg power play players to make a play, because that's what they're going to go up against a second-ranked penalty kill in the National Hockey League in the Buffalo Sabres tonight. So it won't be easy on the power play for sure. It never is. But you're right. If you're able to get yourself a power play goal here against one of the best PKs in the league, it only goes a little bit further in getting you the 2 points tonight.
I wonder about 5-on-5 scoring. Neither of these teams are above the 0 line for 5-on-5 scoring. Winnipeg -1, 47-48. Buffalo 55-62. So it could be a specialty teams game. It could be 5-on-5. It could be a combo platter. Downstairs for the anthems.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Our referees for tonight's game are Trevor Hansen and Brandon Blandino. On the line, Steve Barton and Devin Berg. Let's have a look at the starting lineups. To do that, we shift to my right. Here's Mitchell Clinton.
Thank you, Paul. Getting the start between the pipes for the Buffalo Sabres is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. So far this year, 3-3-1 with an .891 save percentage. On the blue line, Matthias Samuelsson and Rasmus Dahlin. And up front, Jordan Greenway, Peyton Krebs, and Beck Malenstein. For the Winnipeg Jets, it's Eric Comrie, 5-4 so far this year with an .898 save percentage. On the blue line, Dylan Samberg and Luke Shen. And up front, Nito Niederreiter, Adam Lowry, and Alex Iafallo, who's got a bunch of family here tonight.
Sure does. You wondered if he might have signed in the offseason when he was a free agent here. He ended up staying in Winnipeg, but you wondered if Buffalo rang his phone at all. Winnipeg in white. Jets are flying from our broadcast right to left. Sabres are in blue. Comrie down to our right. Luukkonen is down to our left. Teams will come to center ice. Peyton Krebs will take the draw against Adam Lowry. And the puck is dropped, and it's showtime from Buffalo, New York. Glad to have you along on the radio home of the Winnipeg Jets. Power 97 at 680 CJOB. How do you folks tuning in on satellite radio and on the NHL app across North America and worldwide? Winnipeg will shunt that puck down inside that Buffalo end. Lowry charges after it there. Samuelson in on him. Krebs to the far side there for Greenway. Chipped out towards center ice. Winnipeg will send it right back out toward the red line, and Lowry will steer it down inside that Buffalo end. Krebs will skip after it, leave it for Dahlin. Stops and starts into where the corner up along the boards. Bad pass though, grabbed now by Velarde. Velarde shakes off a check onto the far side. Schenn moving in, shooting, and it's stopped by Luukkonen. It's sent out towards center ice. Luke Schenn with a howitzer of a blast as he took that pass from Velarde. Winnipeg back inside their own zone on a dump in by Buffalo. Scheifele goes after it, stick lifted there by Benson. Scheifele stays on it, Velarde there to help out. Velarde away from a pile, rolled it around to the near side. Nice pass by Morrissey onto the tape here for Connor. Streaks out towards center ice onto the far side. DeMello shooting as he took that pass, but Winnipeg's going to be offside at the line on the far side. Quick start to this one. 1:05 into this baby. First period opening face-off is for Comrie and Credit Union. Understand your next steps with expert local financial advice. Wherever you're going, visit Comrie.mb.ca.
And an example of exactly what we were talking about, the Lowry line gets in on the forecheck. Both Nino Niederreiter and Adam Lowry create a little bit of problems down below the goal line. Dahlin's got to make the play a little bit quicker than he wants to. It's out of the reach of the forward he's trying to get it to. Gabriel Velarde forces a turnover, and Winnipeg goes to work.
Morrissey on a face-off win on the neutral ice. We'll send it in. Byram will pull it off the wall, gave it away to Taves, back in behind the net. Taves rolled it around. Nemestikov back toward the line. D-to-D here. Morrissey slap shot that went wide. Seized again on the far side by Nemestikov, trying to get back toward the line. That's intercepted. Benson will skip out towards center ice to the near side. Wrapped toward the net by Thompson. And it's stopped by Comrie. That big reach there by Tage Thompson pulled that pass that really wasn't anywhere near him back in. And he got a shot away in stride, and Comrie makes his first save. We get some pushing and shoving over in that far side. There's a pretty decent Winnipeg connection on this Buffalo Sabres team. Peyton Krebs and Zach Benson being two that played major junior in Winnipeg. And we'll get a holding call against the Jets and Dylan DeMello as we are talking. And Winnipeg will be on the penalty kill.
An early PK there, and Vlad Nemestikov first on that puck in the offensive zone, just trying to play it back to the point, and Benson reads that play well, gets his stick right in that passing lane, and is able to force the turnover and come back and attack with speed. Kind of forced Winnipeg to back off a bit, and DeMello had to backtrack hard there and ended up taking the holding call.
So a power play for Buffalo. Last 10 games, just 15% for them. They are 4 for 26 in the last 10. Face off to the right of Comrie. Winnipeg trying to carve it off the dot. They do in Schenn. Rolled it around to the near side. Scooting to it there quickly is Lowry. He'll wrap it off the boards and send it all the way down the ice. 18:15 remaining in the opening period. No score. Glad to have you along tonight from Western New York. Dahlin will drop it now, and through that neutral ice here is Josh Norris. Norris will send it down into where the corner. Got it wrapped up there with a couple of Jets. Picked up again by Schenn. He'll spill it around with a wrist shot, and it goes all the way down, sliding inside that Buffalo end.
Yeah, first game for Josh Norris since getting hurt opening night. It said he took a little bit of extra time just to make sure he was 100% before coming back in. Obviously, injury is a big part of his career right now.
Winnipeg trying to get to the puck. Thompson does. Back toward the line here. Held by Josh Doan. Doan up top now here again for Josh Norris for Doan into where the corner. Doan makes a move, spills it around to the far side for Thompson. Tage Thompson, saucer pass back toward the line for Dahlin. Back for Thompson on the far side. Thompson at the hash marks, tried to get it down low, skipped off the skates there of Morrissey. Big puck battle there. Winnipeg can't get it out. Stays inside the zone. Norris near side shoots, deflected in front. Rebound, they score. Stopped by Comrie. Rebound put back in. And it's a power play goal for Buffalo. And I think Jason Zucker's going to get it. He got the last touch on a puck that was sitting there back in behind Comrie, and Buffalo opens the scoring.
And Norris makes a pretty strong play here in the right circle where he kind of looks like he's going to shoot. He just kind of hangs on for a split second longer, and Winnipeg's penalty killer Logan Stanley just slides about 3 inches past where he wants to be, and that opens that lane right up, and he tries to go back door to Josh Doan. I think Comrie makes the initial stop, but just not able to land on top of that puck. It squeaks underneath him, and Zucker's the first one to it.
7th goal of the year for Jason Zucker. It comes at 2:46. Time of the goal for JS Furniture. Visit them online at furnitureandmore.ca. Off the ensuing faceoff, sent out towards center ice, and Jack Quinn speeds inside the zone on the far side. Byron moves in, shoots and scores. Bowen Byron takes the pass on the far side from Jack Quinn. Nobody picked him up. Weak side, wrist one past Comrie, and it's quickly 2-0 Buffalo.
And this is just the Sabres beating players up ice, right? It's Bowen Byram, a defenseman that's got a little offensive acumen to his game, just jumps up in the rush and is able to get up that weak side, the left side in this case. And it's a perfectly placed shot by Byram, high, short side on Eric Comrie.
So 2-0 for Buffalo, 3:01 into this first period. And the time of that goal, as mentioned, 3:01 for JS Furniture. Visit them online at furnitureandmore.ca. Off the ensuing faceoff. Nabbed on the far side there by Nyquist. Kicks it inside that Buffalo end. Goes after the puck again. Skinny's down along the boards, trying to carve his way back out in front to where the slot, jam it in. It was stopped by Luukkonen. Bounce back out toward the line. Winnipeg will hold it to the near side. Barron moves in, shooting. And it's stopped by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Winnipeg back toward the line. Morrissey shoots. And it's into the crest of Luukkonen. And he'll make the save and hang on for a whistle. 16.5 remaining in this opening period. 2-0 in favor of Buffalo. And Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen asked for an opportunity to go to the bench. And I think one of those shots might have hit his mask.
Yeah, that's exactly what ended up happening. You could hear how it just sounds a little bit different. And it's a Morgan Barron wrister that he gets absolutely all there, and a good stop by Luukkonen, and Winnipeg's able to get on that puck again. So good puck retrieval in the offensive zone on that last sequence, and really like that play from Nyquist earlier in the shift, finding a way to cut, get into middle ice, and gets himself a great opportunity. Doesn't get everything on the shot and ends up going wide, but the more you do that, the more things will really open up for Gus Nyquist.
Jonathan Taves will take the draw. 3.5 into this first period. Quickly 2-0 for the Sabres. And they win the draw. Dahlin dances out toward his own line and then flops it down over everybody's head back inside that Winnipeg end. Morrissey curls and plays it off the boards. It dribbles all the way down. And icing will be the call against the Jets. Just missed that Buffalo net. Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by San Lucia Pizza, South Beach Casino, and the Manitoba Physiotherapy Association.
And that shift that the Barron line goes out and puts together after Winnipeg goes down 2-0 is important because, I mean, there's a ton of time still in this hockey game, so obviously not ideal to be down 2-0 less than 4 minutes into it, or just over 3 minutes into it, really. But you go out, you start reestablishing that forecheck, reestablish that work, and continue to do the right things.
Puck is sent all the way down the ice. They wave off icing this time. Perfetti after the puck. Bodied his man, but Dahlin will play it out towards center ice for Tage Thompson. Cross the line on the far side. Off the rush there. Norris will shoot the puck. It goes from a bad angle off the side of the net. Ricochets into toward the corner. Grabbed again by Thompson. Pushed against the boards there by Nemestikov. Came back toward the line. Held by Dahlin. Near side for Samuelson. Shoots. Stopped by Comrie. Rebound outlet to the near side. And Perfetti will just hoist it out towards center ice. It finds the stick of Nemestikov, and that line wants a change. And Nemestikov will just shovel it with a backhand down deep inside that Buffalo end. And Winnipeg exits stage right for a line change. Samuelson in toward the middle. Shooting through that neutral ice is Doan. He'll backhand it in. It bounced off the back wall. Grabbed there by Stanley. Ostlund goes after it. Played it back toward the line. It's held by Doan. Ostlund goes back after it again against Stanley. Winnipeg trying to get it off the boards. Miller's there back in by his own net. Stanley is there. Lowry is there and freed up in toward that far side hash mark area. And Winnipeg again pounding the boards, trying to get that puck. They open and it's sent off the boards by Lowry. And it flutters down inside that Buffalo end. Settled down, and Noah Ostlund onto the far side, and cross-ice pass to the near side for Power, moving in, shoots! Off the rush, he put that wide off a stick. Gathered up now on the far side by Iafallo. Got tripped up, no call. Following up is Lowry, and he'll tap it back inside that Sabres end. 14:40 remaining in the opening period. 2-0 Buffalo. McLeod onto the far side. He'll send it inside that Winnipeg end. Trapped nicely there by DeMello. Moved it ahead. Connor on the far side for Velarde. Coming in late. DeMello moving in, shoots! And he put it off the body of Peyton Krebs up and over the back glass, and out of play it goes. 14:29 remaining in the opening period. 2-0 for the Sabres.
And we've seen Buffalo so far in this first period really take advantage of the aggressiveness of Winnipeg's D, trying to hold the line, and it's led to a couple of rush chances against. And obviously a team with that much speed that Buffalo has, it's really imperative that Winnipeg's high forward is in the spot that they need to be in order to cover for those aggressive pinches, because otherwise you're going to see rush chances against, similar to what Winnipeg's given up.
Puck into where the corner. Bowen Byram gave it away. Winnipeg will hold the line. Scheifele sent it into where the corner. Golf chop there by Connor. Velarde trying to get it off the board. Scheifele back toward the line. That's intercepted. And smoothed out here by Buffalo inside their own zone. Dumped back out towards center ice. Krebs will find that, and he will shuttle it down inside the Winnipeg end. Comrie will stop that. Outletted it to the near side, intercepted by Krebs. Kicked it back toward the line. Timmins on the right side point will shoot it through traffic. That stopped Mellenstein there. He might have blocked it himself. Friendly fire, and Winnipeg will eject the puck back out towards center ice. Top line wants a line change. Krebs, the former captain of the Winnipeg Ice, will send it back inside of that Buffalo end. Byram to the near side for Tage Thompson. Through that neutral ice, lost the puck, but followed up by Norris. He'll send it down inside that Winnipeg end. Sandberg goes after it up along the board to the near side. Nice play by Nyquist on the far side here, dancing inside the zone. Pearson dropped it now for Schenn, moving in, shoots, and he put it wide. Kicked off the back wall to the near side. Tage Thompson races through that neutral ice. Stops up across that Jets line. Puts on the brakes there as he feeds it into where the corner. Winnipeg breaks that up, and they will get it out towards center ice. And bobbled slightly off his skate to his stick by Barron, and captured again by Buffalo back inside their own zone. Samuelson will play it onto the far side. Shot in again by Ostlund. Sent around the boards. Carved off the boards there on the far side by Stanley. Moved up along the wing, but stopped to the point. Winnipeg trying to get it out. Kept in again by Tuck. Tuck on the fill will wrist it toward an empty corner. Winnipeg and Stanley will dive after it to the near side. Trying to move his body up along the boards to get it out. Kept in at the line by Power. D-to-D in the far side. Shot came in by Bryson. And it's sent back in toward the Winnipeg net area, where racing out towards center ice is Colin Miller. He tried to get the puck onto the far side, and Winnipeg stymied at the line, curls back, otherwise they were going to be offside, and we'll slow it down. Now Iafallo will take a pass, skipping in, Taves shoots, stop, rebound, it's sitting there, and then outlet it to the near side for McLeod. Rink wide to the far side, that puck will fall onto the stick of Quinn. He will lose the puck, and Winnipeg will start back again to the near side. Morrissey along the boards for Niederreiter. Redirected down inside of that Buffalo end. Connor Timmins goes after it, played it around the far side. Jammed along the boards there by Byram. It's sent up along the boards in a race for the puck down inside that Winnipeg end. Zucker will go after it. He is angled into where the corner nicely by Morrissey. Morrissey didn't have any help, but McLeod is there to help out with Zucker. Zucker takes the puck again on that pass. Put it back toward the line. Winnipeg intercepts that, and they'll start back outside their own zone. Lowry to the near side. Tried to get it inside the zone, and on a second opportunity he does. And he'll flush it down inside that Sabres end and head off on a line change.
Josh Morrissey had to go down the tunnel a little bit for the Winnipeg Jets. Didn't miss a shift, ended up having to get some repairs. I think he got a stick up high on that Mellenstein play.
Mellenstein on the far side. Drop pass. Shot came in. Schenn will body his man. Penalty coming up against the Buffalo Sabres as Velarde is down in front of his own net. Play continues, and Buffalo's going to touch the puck at center. And Velarde is laboring in front of his own net between the two circles. And he's lost his stick. And head athletic therapist Rob Millette will come out. Now Velarde has got up, and he'll try to shake it off. It looks like a left leg issue. And we'll see what kind of penalty they're going to assess on this when we come back. 11:10 remaining in the opening period. The score, Buffalo 2, Winnipeg nothing. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Weekends with Ben O'Hara Byrne.
Some stories are just too good not to share in real time. Catch live moments and join the conversation on what's happening right now. It's Weekends with Ben O'Hara Byrne, weekend mornings on 680 CJOB.
Betting with Play Now Sports feels like going from the bench to the starting lineup. Make every game feel like the big game with Play Now, Manitoba's own legal gambling site. Local, legal, secure. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Christmas is just around the corner, and Santa Lucia Pizza knows just how difficult it can be to pick out the perfect gift. If you've got a pizza lover on your list, you could give them a pizza, but a pizza box is pretty hard to wrap. Make it way easier with a Santa Lucia Pizza gift card. You can make it for any denomination, then pick it up. Order it online at santaluciapizza.com or even have it delivered with your next order. Give the gift of Santa this year. A Santa Lucia Pizza gift card.
This ad is Santa approved.
In today's business world, hiring and retaining staff is a challenge, but Chambers Plan Employee Benefits gives you an edge. A solid benefits plan can be the deciding factor for job seekers. 30,000 Canadian businesses agree Chambers Plan gives you the flexibility to offer comprehensive benefits with affordable, stable premiums. See how Chambers Plan can benefit your business at buychambers.ca. That's BUY Chambers.ca.
Hey, this is Gabriel Velarde. Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton are bringing it. Winnipeg Jets hockey style on 680 CJOB.
Jets are on the power play. The captain for Buffalo, Rasmus Dahlin, is assessed a penalty. And Winnipeg will send out their top power play unit. And good to see, it looks like Gabe Velarde is out there. And he was the receiving factor on that penalty by Dahlin. And the puck is sent all the way down the ice. And I believe it touched somebody at one of the benches, so we'll get a stoppage and another face-off inside of that Buffalo end. It's an interference call for Dahlin on Gabriel Velarde.
Yeah, when he went down, it was quite scary looking. He immediately grabbed at that leg and then seemed to ended up being able to skate it off, which obviously, like you said, good to see.
Puck is discarded all the way down the ice off Matthias Samuelsson's stick. Winnipeg on the power play for the first time. Just under 11 minutes remaining in this first period. 2-0 for Buffalo. Scheifele through that neutral ice. Now for Connor. Just about stopped at center ice by Alex Tuch in the cup. Puck will find its way inside that Buffalo end. Cup down on that stick by Connor. Back toward the line here again for Morris. He winds up. Slap shot. Hit a body in front. Rebound is grabbed, but they can't get it out. Buffalo will put it right onto the stick of Velarde. Nursed it into toward the corner of the near side. Buffalo goes back after it into toward the corner. Scheifele there to try to scrape it along the boards. Velarde, Connor. Velarde will try to come away with it, and he did. Kicked it back toward the line for Morrissey. Walks the line. Near side for Scheifele. Scheifele back up top again for Morrissey. Back for Scheifele down low for Velarde. Velarde stick handling on the goal line for Scheifele. Up top Morrissey shooting. And he fired it wide. Rebound collected again by Connor. Tried to go back toward the line, but Alex Tuch was there, and he will discard the puck all the way down the ice. Under 10 minutes remaining in this opening period. 40 seconds to go in the power play.
You don't see this too often in the neutral zone. When Winnipeg did their weave between Connor and Scheifele, one of the Buffalo penalty killers stepped right up on Kyle Connor. You just don't see that happen.
Winnipeg will turn the puck over just inside the line again, and Bowen Byram will send it all the way down the ice. 25 seconds to go. Second power play unit is out there now for Winnipeg. Weaving his way through his own zone is Colin Miller. Drop it center ice now for Gus Nyquist. Nyquist will try to hand it off on the far side. Just about turned it over, and yes, he did. And it's speared out towards center ice. Winnipeg will pick it up, and again, Nemestikov across the line. Niederreiter shooting. Stopped by Luukkonen. Rebound just hopped over the stick of Nemestikov. Never got great wood on it. Partially touched it. And again, rimmed right outside that Buffalo end by the Sabres. And the penalty is over. Dahlin's out of the penalty box. 0 for 1 with the man advantage of the Jets. And the Jets now 1 for 9 with the power play on this trip. Winnipeg will send it down deep and go after it. Trying to barrel after a puck. There was Lowry. It's sent around to the near side. Swiftly skating out towards center ice. And again is Matthias Samuelsson. He will sit it down inside that Winnipeg end. DeMello goes after it. Out to the far side flank. Lowry will try to truck after it there. Bumped into one of the Sabres. And Tage Thompson. Good little saber-rattling matchup going on into where the corner. Pardon the pun. Sent up along the boards again there by Iafallo. Iafallo had two Sabres in on him. DeMello squeezed his man out. Reverses to the near side again. Winnipeg gave it away. Samuelson shoots. Kicked away by Comrie. Came back toward the line. Samuelson was standing there, and he just put it right toward the net with a good hard wrist shot. Center out of the far side. Connor Timmins will hold the line. Up top now for Norris. His shot popped off the shin pads of Lowry, and it's ejected back out towards center ice. Here on the reload again comes Buffalo playing with some speed. They'll dump it inside that Winnipeg and Benson. He'll turn away after he got it in deep and head off on a line change. Scheifele out of his own zone through that middle of the ice. Scheifele on the far side across the line trying to make a toe drag. And the last line of defense was Rasmus Dahlin who took it away into where the middle for Quinn. Near side for McLeod. Back toward the line now for Bryson. Now into where the middle and a shot by Dahlin. That's stopped by Comrie, and Winnipeg will sweep the rebound back out towards center ice. 7.5 remaining in this first period. Here come the Jets trying to skip across the line. Pass went off a skate. Popped back out towards center ice. Slapped right back in by Morrissey. And Winnipeg will make some further changes.
A bit unfortunate for Winnipeg there is Mark Scheifele, when he was trying to turn back on the backtrack, fell down, and that's why he was late getting back.
Off the rush and a wrist shot in toward Comrie. He'll make the save off one of the goal scorers, and Jason Zucker, who opened the scoring at 2:46 on the power play, will get a stoppage and a timeout on the ice and do the same on your radio. 7:13 remaining in the opening period. The score, Buffalo 2, Winnipeg nothing. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Warm up with hot deals from Coyote at St. Andrews Parts and Power. Right now, you can choose from 2 low finance rate options on the versatile Coyote CS and CX Series tractors. 0% for up to 48 months OAC, or 1.99% for up to 72 months OAC. Plus, all Coyote C Series tractors come with a free loader program on a cash deal. Details at standrewspartsandpower.ca, where you'll say, "That guy helped me."
And I can help you too at St. Andrews Parts and Power.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. You most definitely will at South Beach Casino and Resort. Join us December 13th for our Holly Jolly Christmas cash giveaway. We're spreading cheer with $15,000 in prizes. 10 lucky winners will take home $1,500 each, just in time for Christmas shopping. South Beach Casino and Resort, making it a holly jolly holiday season. Ho, ho, ho. For details, visit southbeachcasino.ca.
At Boston Pizza, we know the holiday season can be a lot.
Have you done your shopping yet?
I make my gingerbread from scratch.
I know you can't visit.
Why are Christmas lights suddenly like $50 at like 1%?
I hope that's not
I can't fit in this anymore.
I don't have an ugly
I make my gingerbread
We're out of stock.
What you wearing for the holiday party?
Take a holla break at Boston Pizza. Cozy up in one of our booths for an espresso martini and maybe some delicious matzo sticks. When the season gets stressful, take a holla break at your local BP. Must be legal drinking age.
Bet on Manitoba. Enjoy responsibly. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on 680 CJOB.
Jet fans, our annual Cyber Monday sale is now on for 1 day only. Save 20% off most in-stock items site-wide. Shop online today at TrueNorthShop.com. That's the annual Jets Gear Cyber Monday sale. Jets Gear, the official team store of the Winnipeg Jets. 2-0 Buffalo, 7:13 remaining in this first period. And we have a problem with the ice inside the Winnipeg Jets end.
Yeah, just inside that left circle. Near the top of it, it's kind of where they're working right now. Looks like they've got everything somewhat sorted there. And I think it was Luke Shen that noticed it and kind of pointed it out to one of the officials.
Now we're ready to go. Comrie will have the face-off to his right. Noah Ostlund will take the draw, and he wins it. Back toward the line. Connor Timmins dusts it off. Now shoots. Put it wide. Came off the back wall. Stone will stick lift Miller and come away with a puck back toward the line for Timmins again. Timmins moves in, shoots, stopped by Comrie. Rebound gathered up there by Pearson. Pearson stick lifted into where the corner by Alex Tuck. Buffalo again penetrating. They came away with a puck, try to get back toward the line, intercepted by Morgan Barron. He'll hop through that neutral ice and try to get it in deep. It was stopped there about halfway through, sent back out, carried back in by Winnipeg. Offside will be the call against the Jets. 6:43 remaining in the opening period. 2-0 Buffalo.
Liked what I saw there from the Stanley Miller pair, just in terms of what they were able to do in front of Eric Comrie to keep the shooting lane clear. You know, Buffalo's moving that puck around the zone in the high areas, and both Miller and Stanley are keeping Buffalo from getting there. That's a big part of helping out your goaltenders, making sure that none of those bodies from the Buffalo Sabres can get there.
The big pass was off the stick of Nemesnikov. Had he taken that cleanly, he might have walked in on a breakaway, but it slides right into Jukka-Pekka Lokinen, who will calmly freeze that for a whistle and take the face-off inside his own zone. And those are the types of little details that are missing right now in Winnipeg's game consistently. And right play, just couldn't execute the pass tape to tape.
Well, you think about the goals that Winnipeg scored in Nashville, how important execution was and what led to speed, right? So you miss those passes, nothing happens, you hit them, you end up with a great chance.
Owen Power back inside his own zone. Sent around the boards, but not out. Jacob Bryson couldn't get it out. Back in behind the net for Power, back for Bryson. Up along the boards for Greenway. Dodged the check to put it into the middle from Allenstein and across the line to the near side. Power jumps up across the line. Holds up now to the far side for Bryson. Shot off a stick there of Greenway going toward the net. That just went wide. Fight for the puck into where the corner. Buffalo's going to win that. Sabres will sweep it back toward the line for Power. Power stops up, shoots, deflected in front, stop, rebound, chipped over the net by Krebs. He was all alone. Everybody was paying attention to where the puck was, and it squirted to Krebs. They didn't know where Peyton Krebs was, and he put it over the net. Winnipeg will get it to center and loft it all the way down the ice. Another good chance for Buffalo to open up a 3-0 lead. They lead 2-0 to the near side. Tage Thompson across the line. Try to curl and drag move. Lost the puck. Was stripped off the stick. And then Benson comes in to take it off of Niederreiter's stick. Send it back toward the line. Dolin will try to hold the line. Could not. And it's sent all the way down. Not enough for icing. Striding back inside his own zone. Matthias Samuelsson casts a long lead pass out towards center ice there for Benson. Now for Norris. Drop for Thompson. Back for Norris. Side of the net. Out in front of the back. And they score. Josh Norris will get the third goal of the first period in only his second game of the year. And with 5:06 remaining in this first period, it's 3-0 Buffalo.
Norris talked this morning about how excited he was to be able to come back and get back in the lineup and try to help his team. And on this one, it's just another rush play for the Buffalo Sabres, who we talked about being clean, right? And a very clean breakout by Buffalo there. A stretch pass into the neutral zone gets then bumped back to Norris with speed, and kind of backs off the Winnipeg defenders, and they run a nicely executed passing play that leads to Norris putting that backhand under Comrie.
Timmins makes a nice move at center ice, carves his way inside the Winnipeg end, puts on the brakes, curls, played it back toward the line. McLeod will hold the line, chipped it into where the corner. After it goes Quinn. Quinn turns and fires, bounced off a body there. Scheifele ricochets into where the corner. DeMello ties up his man. Scheifele came away with a puck. Now return pass from Morrissey. Scheifele striding through that neutral ice, crossed over the line. Shoots it around to the near side. 4.5 remaining in this opening period. 3-0 Buffalo. Sent back toward the side of the slot. Winnipeg trying to get something going inside that Buffalo end. Couldn't get a pass going, and now Quinn on the far side will backhand it back in. Bowen Byram, the first one to it inside the Winnipeg end. Sidesteps a check there from Stanley. Put it back in behind the net. Colin Miller had a problem with the puck. Got a little bit of help going. Velarde onto the far side. Scheifele trying to excuse it outside the zone. Can't. Stays in. Power now moves in. Shoots. Looked like he wanted to pass it off, and Comrie makes the save, and we'll hang on. 3:59 remaining in this first period. The score, Buffalo 3, Winnipeg nothing. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
You can now get your local news from 680 CJOB instantly on Amazon Alexa. Just add CJOB to your flash briefings on any Alexa device and say,
Alexa, play me the news.
it's that easy.
Betting with Play Now Sports feels like going from the bench to the starting lineup. Make every game feel like the big game with Play Now, Manitoba's own legal gambling site. Local, legal, secure. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Take control of your health today with the Manitoba Physiotherapy Association. Physiotherapists are skilled at treating a variety of conditions, including but not limited to muscle and joint pain, neurological disorders, vestibular disorders, pelvic floor disorders, and a variety of chronic health conditions. In Manitoba, you don't need a doctor's referral to see a physiotherapist in a private clinic. Learn how the Manitoba Physiotherapy Association can help you take control of your health. Click Find a Physio at mbphysio.org.
Hey, it's Connor Hellebuck. This is Winnipeg Jets hockey with Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton on 680 CJOB.
Jet fans, it's time to choose where this year's Jetstown takeover will land. Oakbank, Niverville, or Gimli. Which community should host the ultimate Jets experience? Cast your vote now on winnipegJets.com/Jetstown takeover. Buffalo has taken over this game rather early. 4 minutes remaining in this first period. The Sabres lead at 3-0. Zucker is 7th, Byram his 5th, and Norris his 1st from Thompson at 14:54. The latest of the 3 goals for the Sabres. Wristed back toward the line. And then stopped there. Another wrist shot came back toward the goaltender, and Comrie will punch that with a blocker, get it out towards center ice, and Winnipeg will dump it in. Time of that goal, the latest of 3 here again for Buffalo. At 14:54 for JS Furniture. Visit them online at furnitureandmore.ca. Discarded stick at the side of that Buffalo net. Winnipeg changing on the fly here. And now Jacob Bryson, long lead pass, kicked into the middle, 2-on-1. Doan on the far side, moving in, and a shot stopped by Comrie. Nice play by Josh Doan, and that's a set play. Long lead pass, kicked in toward the middle, and Noah Ostlund came in, took the pass, and tried to beat Comrie, who goes post to post to make the save on that 2-on-1 and hangs on.
And again, just taking advantage of how aggressive that Winnipeg wants to be on their gap, especially their D, right? Colin Miller steps up to try to take away, the time and space for the Buffalo player that's getting that pass, but it's a one-touch back pass to a player jumping in through the neutral zone with speed, and before you know it, bang, it's a 2-on-1 the other way, and a big stop by Eric Comrie there.
Face off to the right of Comrie, 3:20 remaining, first period. Buffalo wins the draw, marched into toward the corner, trying to get it back out in front. They do, swung toward the net by Greenway. And partially stopped by Comrie, ricochets into toward the corner, Jordan Greenway. Turned it over there to Taves. Taves almost gave it away. Staying on it though is Taves. He'll dance outside his own zone. Get towards center ice and backhand it in. First one on it there is Stikov. He is guided in toward the corner, bumped off the puck. Taves will come in to try to help out. Krebs is there as well. Now grabbed by Perfetti. Slung back toward the line here. Sandberg far side for Shen. Shoots, deflected net front by Nemestikov. Just put it wide. He nabs the rebound, put it back toward the line. Sandberg near side, shoots through traffic. Loken will stop that. Rebound grabbed again by Taves. Back toward the line for Shen. Walks the line, slap shot. Fired it wide, came off the back wall. Rebound is seized by Krebs, and he'll steer it out towards center ice. Dump it in, and then head off on a line change. First one on it, though, is Beck Mallenstein. Mallenstein will throw it around to the corner on the near side. Benson goes back after it. He's taken off the puck by Shen. Sandberg gave it away to Norris. High slot. His pass goes off a stick. Winnipeg reaching forward. Can't get it out. Kept in by Timmins to the near side. Shen will body his man. Rough him up a little bit on top of the puck. That's Benson into where the near side corner. Winnipeg trying to grab the puck again and move it around the boards. Lowry to the far side for Niederreiter. Pinching in is Bowen Byram. Down along the boards. Good pressure here by Buffalo. Inside the Winnipeg end. Benson, stick clip, put it back toward the line. Tate Thompson, slap shot, fan on it. Deflected in front, and it just about went through a maze of bodies and in because Comrie anticipated it was going to go one direction, and it didn't. Back toward the line again. Timmins will hold the line. Timmins will cast it around the boards for Tage Thompson. Skips after it. Lowry got the inside track on him. Set it up along the boards now for Shen. Shen will get it out towards center ice and try to move it ahead and onto the stick of Iafallo. And Winnipeg will beat it inside that Buffalo end with a slap shot that goes wide by Iafallo, and he will head off for line change. 1:09 remaining in this opening period. It's all Buffalo. McLeod inside his own zone will drop it now for Timmins. Timmins will shoot it through that neutral ice. It goes off a stick, and now McLeod will grab it again inside that Winnipeg end. Cross-ice pass. Good active stick by Kyle Connor to knock that outside the zone. He darts after it, but too many Sabres were above the puck, and they come away with it again. Far side, Jason Zucker sends it bounding down inside that Winnipeg end. Stopped by Morrissey. His pass goes over DeMello's stick. DeMello fighting for the puck on the far side. Will try to eject it out. It bounced toward the lines. Curling back is Shifley to come away with it. Near side for Connor across the line. Connor back toward the line for Morrissey. Morrissey walks in, shoots, and it's off the stick on a backhand redirect there by Shifley just over the net. Buffalo will settle it down inside their own zone. Quinn, lead pass through that neutral ice for Ostlund. Steers it inside the Winnipeg end, back for Jack Quinn. His shot is blocked there by Connor. Connor will send it off the boards. Kept alive here by Dahlin. Dahlin's pass intercepted by Connor. Rink wide to the far side, DeMello. He'll shoot it toward the net, and that goes off the blocker of Luukkonen. And the horn will sound to end 20 minutes of hockey in Western New York tonight, with the hometown Buffalo Sabres leading 3-0 over the Winnipeg Jets.
And the hometown fans give their team a well-deserved cheer as they head off the ice after the first period, scoring 3 goals on the Winnipeg Jets. And speed really is the main thing that's standing out. And, you know, it's not even necessarily always just point A to B speed, which Buffalo certainly has, but it's how quickly they're moving the puck that's also presenting some problems for the Winnipeg Jets. Buffalo's been very good throughout the first 20 minutes. Winnipeg had some offensive zone shifts, but it just seemed whenever they had one that they sustained some time in that zone. Buffalo, the very next shift, did the same thing to Winnipeg right in their own zone as well. So it was kind of hard for Winnipeg to sustain any sort of momentum. The looks are there, but Buffalo certainly earned that 3-0 lead.
Let's have a look at the stat summary through that first 20 minutes, and it's all Buffalo. 3-0, they lead it. They open up the scoring, 2:46 on the power play. Jason Zucker with a rebound that was sitting there. He knocks it past the goal line, and Eric Comrie for his 7th of the year. Josh Doan and Josh Norris pick up the assists. 1-0 Buffalo. At 3:01, so the 2 first goals come 3:01 into this first period. And it was just another 25 seconds later, Bowen Byram on a 2-on-1 rush picks up the puck on the far side, wrists a shot past Eric Comrie for his 5th. Quinn and Timmins will collect the assists on that. Downstairs to Gus Nyquist, and thanks a lot for taking the time. And Gus, how did you see that period?
Yeah, kind of a weird start, to be honest with you. Kind of, I don't know. But it's a hard one to answer. I don't necessarily. I think the score reflected the first 10 minutes of the period. I think obviously the second half we got to be better, but kind of just a weird start where they scored on a couple chances they got. So we got to be able to kill that penalty off the first one too. Regroup in here and get ready for the second.
And Gus, obviously their penalty kill, second in the National Hockey League. You guys had the one power play in the first. What kinds of things do you guys see from them in terms of pressure, and how do you beat it?
Yeah, no, just execute. Obviously we got to get in the zone. We got to break out a little better, get a little cleaner, and get set up. But otherwise, just move the puck fast and execute, and we'll be fine.
Veteran group in there. You've still got 40 minutes to go. The message be, okay, take a breath, breathe, relax. We've still got 40 to go. We've been here before, all of us. We're okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just 40 minutes to go. I mean, we can score 3 goals in here, so no issue with that. We just got to regroup and come out hard for the second.
Thanks for your time. Good luck in the second and third.
All right, thanks.
Gus Nyquist from downstairs joining us. And certainly Winnipeg looking to get a goal and maybe one quickly to start the second period. As mentioned, Zucker is 7th from Doan and Norris at 2:46. And then 15 seconds later, it was Byram, his 5th from Quinn, and Timmins at 3:01. So 2 goals in 3 minutes and 1 second. And then 9 minutes later, Norris, his 1st of the year and only his 2nd game from Thompson at 14:54. 3-0 Buffalo. That's where we sit at the end of 20 minutes of play. As Gus Nyquist said, The Jets need to kill that first penalty against them. They did not, so Buffalo 1-for-1 with the man advantage. The Jets did get an opportunity in the power play. When it was 2-0, you thought, okay, if they could get a goal here, they settled things down, cut the lead in half. They did not, so Winnipeg is 0-for-1 with the man advantage this evening. Shots on goal favor Buffalo at 15-7, so they double up on Winnipeg when it comes to the shots, and the shots on goal totals are for Dr. J's Men's Sexual Health Clinic. Need to perform better in the bedroom? See the top-rated doctor on Google and rate MD. Visit Dr. J at winnipegclinic.com. So 3-0 for Buffalo after one, and they outshoot Winnipeg 15-7 in that first period as well. First intermission report is coming up next with Kelly Moore, Dwayne Gillowoychuk, and Christian O'Mell. The score, as mentioned, Buffalo 3, Winnipeg nothing after one. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97, 680 CJOB.
Tonight on The Last Show with David Cooper.
Put on a headset, grab a virtual box, and your brain hesitates. There's nothing there. But grab a real one, feel it in your hands, and everything clicks. The missing sense of touch changes everything. I'm David Cooper, and tonight we'll show why touch is the key to lifelike VR and better prosthetics.
The Last Show with David Cooper. Tonight at midnight on 680 CJOB.
Jets fans, we're home for the holidays and hope you are too. Come cheer on your Winnipeg Jets and catch the last two games of the 2025 calendar year, December 27th and 29th at Canada Life Center. Witness key matchups against the Minnesota Wild and the Edmonton Oilers. Feel the energy. Bring the noise. Grab your tickets now at winnipegjets.com/tickets.
Mike here for Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools. We asked our customers why they shop with us, and here's what they had to say.
The convenience of my main tools, Makita, Milwaukee, Rigid.
It's definitely the staff. They're the best of anywhere that I go.
Because all the guys and gals on the counter speak my language and they know what I want.
It's as close to one-shop stopping as I will get.
Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
3-0, the Buffalo Sabres over the Winnipeg Jets after one period of play. And Jets fans, now's the time to buy your tickets for the Winnipeg Jets 50-50 presented by Play Now and in support of the True North Youth Foundation. You can buy those tickets right now by texting Jets to 20450. While certainly from a goals against perspective, the absolute worst first period by the Winnipeg Jets this season, there had been a couple of occasions where they'd given up 2 goals in a first period, but this is the first time that they gave up 3. And Dwayne Gillowoychuk, it could have been 4 or 5. I don't think there was anything weird about that period at all, at least from our perspective. Never like to second-guess the players because they're the ones that are participating in it, but I didn't see anything weird at all. I saw one team just a whole lot better than the other.
Yeah, Winnipeg chased the game right from the get-go. I thought Buffalo came ready to play. They were, on their toes. They were eager. They were really direct with their whole game. They looked so much faster than Winnipeg. And, they're connected to come up the ice. You can really see how effective and how offensive-minded their D are. They're leading a lot of the rushes. They don't stop. And, Winnipeg wasn't able to get a forecheck established, which gives Buffalo an opportunity to break out clean with speed and with numbers. And Winnipeg was just chasing the game that whole first period.
Yeah, right from that second shift. And a guy that is usually very good with the puck, but Vlad Nemesnikov is in the O-zone along the right wing boards, tries a little chip pass. It gets picked off. That starts the odd man rush that forces Dylan DeMello having to take the penalty. And then, of course, it culminates with the power play goal by Jason Zucker.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Dylan DeMello kind of got caught flat-footed, but there were so many times the puck management and it just seemed that Winnipeg wasn't moving their feet. They were watching the puck instead of getting to the inside or getting back to the middle of the play. And when you've got a team like Buffalo who skates so well and are skating well tonight, you've got to make sure you get back to the middle. You've got to make sure you move your feet, especially when you make bad puck decisions like that. And Winnipeg just couldn't get back. They couldn't get anything organized. They couldn't get anything kind of going after that first power play goal, and they've been chasing it for the rest of the period.
Yeah, and then the number one line gets victimized because they get beat up the ice by Bowen Byram on that goal just 15 seconds later.
Yeah, it just seemed that they tried to get the puck in deep. They lost a puck battle, and then all of a sudden they broke it out clean. The D step up. There's not a good F3, a high forward for Winnipeg, and then all of a sudden it's just a foot race to the Winnipeg net. And again, Buffalo wins that race, and they're able to execute the next shift after a goal against. And that one's going to sting because, usually a coaching staff wants that next shift to be important. It's a bump up shift. You got to change the momentum. And Winnipeg was not able to do that and got, the 2-0 lead very quickly.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, quite the return to the lineup for Josh Norris. Helps set up the first goal, scores the third goal. That Buffalo number one line certainly terrorized Winnipeg in that opening period.
Yeah, and Tage Thompson is just he's separated himself from players. All of a sudden his speed, his vision on the ice. But now all of a sudden you add Josh Norris with him. Now you got two guys that love to handle pucks. They love to be creative with it, but they play the game speed. They play it directly. They don't try and do a lot of north-south east-west unless there's ice there. They create a lot of time and space for the players on the ice, whoever they're playing with. But that's a great first period coming back for especially being off that long with Josh Norris.
About the only good thing that happened in that first period from a Winnipeg perspective, Coach, was Gabe Vilardi was not injured in that collision with Rasmus Dahlin.
Yeah, it didn't look great when it first happened, and he looked like he was in a lot of pain. It was good to see him get up right away. Usually when a player gets up that quick, it's a good sign. But just how he kind of twisted that knee and took that hit, it didn't look good at first. But that's a really good sign for him to get back right away because Winnipeg can't afford to lose him.
I thought if there was one area in this game where the Jets had a decided advantage over the Sabres, it was at the faceoff dot. Coming into the game tonight, Coach, the Winnipeg Jets are 5th in the National Hockey League at 53%. Almost 11 percentage points ahead of the 32nd Buffalo Sabres. So you're thinking, okay, well, at least the Jets are going to control the puck at the start. The faceoffs, 12-4 in Buffalo's favor. Peyton Krebs, who's, I think, 42.8% on the faceoffs for the season, he goes 5 for 5.
Yeah, every time the puck dropped, it just seemed that Buffalo was starting with the puck, and there were some puck battles where there's a 50-50 puck after the puck went down, and the centers were battling for it. But again, Buffalo's on their toes; they're ready for those faceoffs. They get puck possession off it, and it's just so uncharacteristic of the Winnipeg Jets.
So, you're Scott Arniel. Or I don't know. Do you leave it to the leadership group to sort this mess out? How do you handle that?
I think so. I think he's probably said enough on the bench over that first 20 minutes. You leave it to the captain. You leave it to the assistants and some veteran leadership that's, that not wearing letters, but they've got to respond here. They've got to help Eric Comrie out. Eric Comrie's got to make a save. He can't let any other goals go in here, but this is up to the room now. The coaches, I'm sure, has said enough during that first 20 minutes.
Yeah, as bad as the first period was in Carolina on Friday, this one, I don't know if you want to use the terminology, exceeded it. But the Jets are certainly in need of a response. They trail 3-0 after 20 minutes of play. A scoreboard update coming your way next with Christian O'Mell on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
When games are played, when there's a trade, sports news has been made. You'll hear all about it. 25 after the hour on 680 CJOB.
Betting with Play Now Sports feels like going from the bench to the starting lineup. Make every game feel like the big game with Play Now, Manitoba's own legal gambling site. Local, legal, secure. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Sleep has never felt this good. Introducing the new Tempur-Pedic Pro-Align mattress, now available at JS Furniture. Engineered with advanced pressure-relieving Tempur material, the Pro-Align adapts to your body for personalized comfort and unmatched support all night long. Wake up refreshed, feel the difference, and discover why Tempur-Pedic is the #1 recommended mattress by sleep experts. Visit JS Furniture in Winnipeg, Portage La Prairie, and Steinbach today and experience the Pro-Align for yourself. JS Furniture, where comfort meets quality.
Uncover your reason to try Cambrian Credit Union. Is it banking for free with their unfee, undoing your debt with their payoff loan, or unleaving your house to meet their advisors by video? Simplify your banking with support from their team. Cambrian has unbelievable gratitude for the almost 70,000 local members choosing Team Cambrian for support along their financial journey. Wherever you're going, Cambrian can help you take your next financial steps. Uncover Cambrian Credit Union at cambrian.mb.ca.
Winnipeg Jets exclusive coverage continues on 680 CJOB and CJKR 97.5 FM Powered 97. This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
3-0, the Buffalo Sabres leading the Winnipeg Jets after 20 minutes of play. Jason Zucker and Bowen Byram scoring 15 seconds apart in the opening 3 minutes of the period, and then Josh Norris, with about 5 minutes and change to go, makes it 3-0. The shot attempts 27-18 in favor of the Sabres. While 3 of the other 4 games are underway, and Christian O'Mell in Philadelphia, it's kind of like when the Bombers host the Riders. You can lose to some teams, but you can't lose to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. If you're the Flyers, you can't lose at home to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
And yet, they are losing at home to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby has 2 goals. There have been a lot of power plays in this game. 3-1 Pittsburgh with about 3 minutes left in the second. There have been a combined 6 power plays. Pittsburgh's 2 for 2, though, on theirs in this one. Mentioned in the first scoreboard update that the Devils scored twice in the first 3 minutes against the Blue Jackets. It's still just 2 goals for New Jersey, but now it's 2 for Columbus as well. Halfway through the second, tied at 2. Denton Matejchuk of Dominion City has his 6th of the year for the Jackets. Also, the Ducks up 2-1 on St. Louis with about 6 minutes left in the first period. 10-0 the Patriots ahead of the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. A punt return touchdown for the Patriots has them well ahead. They should absolutely win that football game. And at the 4A Girls High School Volleyball Championship at Investors Group Athletic Center, the Vincent Massey Brandon Vikings in control, up 2-1 and 13-4 in the 4th set as they look to go back-to-back as champions. St. Paul's against Dakota is the boys' final that will start a little bit after this one gets wrapped up.
Yeah, and you were mentioning, I think, earlier today, Christian, who was the last back-to-back winner on the girls' side?
It was Collège Jean Sauvé, the team that they are currently beating back in 2017 and 2018.
All right, we'll see if history kind of repeats itself in a weird way. It's 3-0. The Winnipeg Jets trailing the Buffalo Sabres. Who knows? Maybe they can do what the Columbus Blue Jackets did in spinning around an early deficit. We'll find out when the second period comes your way next on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
From the gridiron to the ice.
Been that way forever.
You're not wrong. City Hall to the movie theaters.
This one's getting pretty good reviews.
May check it out sometime when it's on home video.
CJOB covers all the highlights with our daily podcasts. Hits from every show.
Sometimes that's all we're getting, right?
Pretty scary stuff. And game day coverage.
He's looking at the crowd. He's smiling a bit because he's still relishing in the win.
CJOB on Apple Podcasts and wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
The holidays are coming, and you've got parties to plan and gatherings to host. Santa Lucia Pizza Catering to the rescue. They'll cater your holiday event, big or small, with packages that feed any size group. Or mix and match a little bit of everything from their regular catering menu. Just like Santa has elves to help him, you've got Santa Lucia Pizza Catering to help you during the holidays. Check out all the options at santaluciapizza.com or give them a call. They'd be happy to put together the perfect menu for your holiday event.
This ad is Santa approved.
Manitoba knows hard work. On the ice, on the job, and on the road. At Inland Truck and Equipment, we're proud to support the people who keep this province moving. As your Canadian-owned Kenworth dealer in Winnipeg and Brandon, we offer parts, service, and in-house financing to keep your business rolling with the world's best. Inland Truck and Equipment. The hard work behind the hard work. Visit inland-group.com for more.
This is is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Second period just about ready to get underway. Jets are flying from our broadcast left to right. Long change for both teams. It seems rudimentary, but the next goal, if there is one, is important, and Winnipeg needs to get it if there is. As they trail 3-0 after one, and they were behind in that entire period. Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by Mid-Canada Fasteners, Inland Truck and Equipment, and Bonifay Clinic. Lowry will take the draw to start this second period against Peyton Krebs. And we're underway in the second period. Jordan Greenway around a check there of Niederreiter. Dumped it down inside that Winnipeg end. Shen on the retrieve. Dumped it into where the corner for Sandberg. Into where the middle now for Lowry. Out towards center ice. He'll steer it ahead now for Iafallo. He'll got it down inside that Buffalo end against Samuelson. Winnipeg goes after the puck, and Lowry to the near side. Try to get inside and get that puck back to where the line. Lowry there. Niederreiter there. It's grabbed and trying to waltz away from a check is Greenway. Moved it back up along the boards. Pinching down is Shen. And the puck goes by him and out towards center ice. Winnipeg will carry it back inside their own zone. They gave it away. Krebs in the slot shoots. Blockered away again by the goaltender in Comrie. To the near side, it's rolled around. Milic is now inside the goal for Winnipeg. They've made a goaltending change. So Thomas Milic is in goal. So he's made that save. It's rimmed around to the far side, and I would have to tell you and say that it might be more on the Winnipeg Jets that their goaltender is pulled to try to wake the Jets up, and not necessarily on the performance of Eric Comrie in that first 20 minutes. Sent out towards center ice. Josh Norris with some speed. Carries it inside that Winnipeg end. Goes back in behind the net. Takes a good thump there from DeMello. Winnipeg will get the puck off a stick of Perfetti and out towards center ice. Bowen Byram into toward the middle. And a regroup here in the neutral ice for Buffalo. It's dumped inside that Winnipeg end. Nemestikov sent it around to the far side. Perfetti will get it off the boards and send it out towards center ice. Knocked down by Benson. Benson put it back inside his own zone to the near side. Again, Bowen Byram. Long lead pass. Tate Thompson to the near side to cross the line for Norris. Into where the corner for Thompson. Jammed along the boards there for Benson. Tried to get it back out in front. Nicked off the skate. Bounced into where the corner to the near side. Morrissey fighting for it. Benson fighting for it. Morrissey trying to move it up along the boards. Goes off a body, and again, Benson with it. Tried to get it out in front. Morrissey stopped that. Takes a body check now from Norris, and the puck is sent around to the far side. Morrissey omnipresent over there as well, and he'll put it into where the middle of the ice for DeMello. Long lead pass for Connor. Across the line. High slot to the near side. Pass it off Velarde. Back door to the far side for Scheifele, and he couldn't get a stick on it. 17:40 remaining in this second period. Racing down the right wing boards. Jack Quinn will dump it in. Stanley goes after it. Jammed it up along the boards. It falls right onto the stick there of Velarde. Steered it to the near side, and jumping up now is Miller. At center ice, he will dump it in. Rasmus Dahlin will send it around to the near side inside his own zone for Samuelson. Out towards center ice, and that stretch pass, and McLeod will shoot it in. He takes a body check from Pearson. Winnipeg again will send it out towards center ice. Head off on a line change, and Buffalo will settle it back down inside their own zone.
Well, similar to the first period, the Lowry line comes out on the first shift and gets that puck in the offensive zone and starts going to work. We'll see if Winnipeg can kind of channel that into some momentum of their own, and I agree with you 100% on what you said about Comrie coming out and Milic coming in.
So Milic has stopped that first shot just seconds into this second period, so he makes his second NHL appearance. This one in relief, and we'll see if it can spark Winnipeg to getting a goal and maybe a comeback here. Ostlund onto the far side. Guides it into where the corner to the far side for Doan. He takes a smash there, but keeps his feet moving as Luke Shen was in on him, and then he had the puck go off his stick and pop back out towards center ice. Backhanded by the Sabres, right back in. Milic will stop that. Outletted far side again, Iafallo. He moved it ahead at center ice for Niederreiter. He'll flop it down inside that Buffalo end. Byram goes after it, curls into where the corner, Lowry in on him. Moved up along the boards, and Doan can't get it out. Byram will come away, and he'll arc off the boards, and he'll start to skip out towards center ice. Up the middle of the ice to the near side. He'll slam it in from center. Tumbles around to the far side. Morrissey will pedal off the back wall. Now for DeMello. He moved it ahead for Cole Perfetti. He will get it out towards center ice and try to backhand it in. Winnipeg can't penetrate the line off the rush. Bowen Byram with the puck to knock that down. Out towards center ice, and Byram with a goal tonight already. To the near side for Krebs. Back toward the line, coming in. Mallenstein is shot. Whipped toward the net, and that just went wide. Rebound back in behind the goal. Quickly to it is DeMello. Outlets it to the near side. Winnipeg's going to carry the puck out towards center ice, and Taves, he will just weakly one-handed inside the zone. That stopped there by Buffalo. Sent out towards center, and a drift. There it goes. Winnipeg will try to send 3, now 4 to come away with the puck. It's speared at, and Skinny's back along the boards and inside the Winnipeg end, and Morrissey is there. Far side for Nemesnikov. Nifty little play to get it into the middle for Taves to center ice. He'll dump it in and head off at a line change. We played 5 minutes of this second period. 3-0 Buffalo.
Winnipeg's been a little bit better on their battles in terms of those 50-50 pucks, especially in the neutral zone over the course of the start of this period, just over 5 minutes in. Just noticeable that they're able to kind of stifle Buffalo's momentum a little bit. They haven't been able to generate as much speed. Winnipeg playing a little bit better here.
Owen Power inside his own zone. Long lead pass goes by everybody. And icing is waved off. Must have touched the stick there of Zach Benson on Winnipeg's side of center, even though Benson couldn't corral it. Now into where the corner. Benson out in front. McLeod is shot. Stopped by Milic. Rebound gathered up by Winnipeg. Velarde cross-ice pass on the far side for Stanley. Stanley through that neutral ice. Softly lays it toward the net. Shifley goes after it into where the corner. He's taken down. Darting after it is Connor. Connor back into where the corner for Shifley. Tried to knock it out in front. Fanned on that. Tumbled back toward the line. Held by Shen. Into where the middle now for Connor. Whipped toward the net. Stop. Rebound. Connor. Now a pass to the side of the net for Shifley. Turning a backhand. Weakly went wide. Connor will roll back in behind the net to try to come out in front with the puck. He's taken off and pushed, in fact, off the puck. And it's sent back out towards center ice. Shen back into where the middle for Shifley. Shifley across the line. Stops up. Feeds it with a backhand into where the corner. Velarde goes charging after it. 2 Sabres are there. Samuelson will kick it around the boards onto the far side. And the puck is lifted out towards center ice by Buffalo. And off the glove there of Krebs. Falls back inside the Winnipeg end. Now Winnipeg and Pearson couldn't handle a pass at center ice, but following up is Morgan Barrett. He will just shoot it down inside that Buffalo end. 13.5 remaining in this second period. And this basically opening shift, we've barely had any whistles here. And across the line, a shot was squeezed off. Quinn's after the puck in the corner. Winnipeg got there first. So continuous action, 13-10 remaining in the second. 3-0 Buffalo. Dumped inside that Buffalo end. Center out of the far side. Charging after it again there is Barron. Barron sends it to the corner of the near side. DeMello goes after it, takes a bump from Doan, but will hold the line. Byram goes after it, put it out toward the line. Stopped there by DeMello, now for Nemesnikov. Back for DeMello, into where the corner of the far side for Morrissey. Makes a nice move, cars his way out in front, the shot, stop, rebound! And a great chance for Nyquist. It was kicked away again by Lokinen onto the far side. Bowen Byram scampers inside the Winnipeg end to the near side here for Connor Timmins coming in late. Shoots! And it's blocked in front. And Winnipeg doing a good job of that to front the puck. And DeMello lead pass again for Nemesnikov. Moves in, shoots on a one-on-one. And he just put that wide off the stick of Bowen Byram. And then DeMello will go after it again. So does Nemesnikov. Nemesnikov came away with the puck. Tried to get it back toward the net, off a stick, into the meshing. Behind that Buffalo net it goes, and out of play. 12:23 remaining in this second period. The score, Buffalo 3, Winnipeg 0. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
There's a new Weekend Vibe. Weekends with Ben O'Hara Byrne brings you real stories, unforgettable guests, and smart conversations. Your weekend mornings just got an upgrade. It's the new Weekends with me, Ben O'Hara Byrne, mornings on 680 CJOB.
Betting with Play Now Sports feels like going from the bench to the starting lineup. Make every game feel like the big game with Play Now, Manitoba's own legal gambling site. Local, legal, secure. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
When your truck breaks down, do you take it to just any shop or do you take it to the best shop in town? So when it comes to your why wouldn't you go to the top-rated guy? Go see Dr. J, one of the top-rated doctors on RateMD. So if your needs help rising to the occasion, bring him to one of the best.
Dr. J of Winnipeg Clinic offers new and innovative treatment options for erectile dysfunction. Book your confidential visit at winnipegclinic.com.
At Boston Pizza, we know the holiday season can be
a lot.
Have you done your shopping yet?
I make my gingerbread from scratch.
I know you can't visit.
Why are Christmas lights suddenly like $50? Is that like 1%?
I hope that's not real.
I can't fit in this anymore.
I don't have an ugly sweater. I make my gingerbread
We're
from
out of stock
scratch.
on that.
wearing for the holiday party? Take a holla break at Boston Pizza. Cozy up in one of our booths for an espresso martini and maybe some delicious matzo sticks. When the season gets stressful, take a holla break at your local BP. Must be legal drinking age.
The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey.
12:23 remaining in this second period. 3-0 Buffalo. Eric Comrie's night is done. After one period, Thomas Milic has started this second period. Winnipeg just with 10 shots in the hockey game. They win the draw inside the Buffalo end. Morrissey on the far side. High slot. Slap shot by Perfetti. And that's poked with the blocker back into where the corner by Lokinen. Winnipeg will grab the puck again. Perfetti down along the boards. Trying to get it back door for Taves. Took a swing and miss at it. And the puck is off the back wall all the way down. Winnipeg has to turn their skates and race back to collect that. DeMello wiped out along the back wall as he retrieved that puck. Malenstein is there. Greenway knocked down DeMello in front of the net. And now they start to joust again. Came back toward the line. Power to the far side. Jacob Bryson shot as he took that pass. Is off a skate, grabbed by Krebs, side of the net, shoots, and it's off a skate again. Tumbled into where the corner. Bryson after it, kicks it from a skate to a stick. Being bothered there by the Jets and Taves. And Winnipeg will get it out towards center ice, and Cole Perfetti, 1-on-1 against Power. Perfetti will stop up. Perfetti at the hash marks inside that Buffalo end. Back toward the line for Miller, moving in, shooting. Blocked in front by Malenstein. Back for Miller again, another shot, and he ripped it wide with a wrister. It's grabbed by Owen Power, and Beck Malenstein felt the full brunt of that slap shot by Colin Miller. He'll hobble his way off toward the bench and get paid off by the fans. Bryson with a puck inside his zone to the near side. In toward the middle now for Josh Norris. 2 points in his return here. He will stuff the puck down inside that Winnipeg end. Jets will grab that, and Stanley didn't like the read to the near side corner. Rolled it around back in behind his own net for Miller. Indirect then on the far side for Connor. Couldn't handle the pass cleanly. And then it's just tucked with a backhand by Norris back inside that Winnipeg end.
It looks like Josh Morrissey is basically in full send this period. He's been deep in the offensive zone a couple of times and making plays, setting up Gustav Nyquist. Great chance to get Winnipeg on the board that gets stopped, but Winnipeg generating just a little bit more in this second period so far.
An offside call against Buffalo at that Jets line. Save and score with a Jets Cyber Monday deal. Get in on the deals early this month of December. And the Jets game and ring in a 2026 at the Manitoba Moose signature New Year's Eve game for only $89 plus fees. Act now. This Cyber Monday special ends tonight at midnight. Visit winnipegjets.com/offers. Winnipeg will dump it in to the near side and out towards center ice is Jack Quinn. Across the line, tried to drop it into toward the middle. Coming back on the back track was Niederreiter. He will just plunger it back out towards center ice. Sent right back in. Sandberg had some problems with it. Managed to settle it down for Shen. Shen along the boards to the near side and over the stick of Iafolo. We'll get an icing call against the Jets. With 10-11 remaining in this second period. 3-0 Buffalo.
Yeah, and no doubt a challenge for Winnipeg here but you figure, and you kind of mentioned this early in this period, you get that next one, I think it really can kickstart things. You go back to the game in Nashville where Winnipeg, it was them that had the 3-0 lead. Nashville gets on the board, and then, early in the third, you make it a one-goal game. So anything can still happen. Winnipeg's trying to get a little bit more pucks to the net.
Owen Byram saunters in along the boards and a face-off win to the right of Milic. Trying to send it around. Winnipeg will come away with that, get it out towards center ice. Noah Ostlund and across the line. Ostlund, nice pass, cutting away the net as Doan shoots as he pulled it from his backhand to the forehand in the middle of the ice and just fired it wide. Timmins back at center ice on the regroup. Here they come with speed again. Doan strides inside the zone, taken off stride nicely there by Sandberg. Knocked off the puck. Sandberg back in behind the net, goes after it. Sandberg stick lifted, stays on the puck. Sandberg will try to feed it along the boards. There is Barron to help out now for Shen. Shen moved it around the far side. Skipping after it is Pearson, and Tanner Pearson will send it out towards center ice. Back on the road on the far side. Here comes Tuck. Tuck inside that zone, trying to get it on the far side again for Krebs. Krebs will try to get it back toward the line and did to the near side for Tuck. Tuck moves in, shoots, and he slung that wide. Bounced off the back wall and off a body. Picked up by Morgan Barron. Charges inside the zone, shoots off the rush, and it goes off the shoulder of the goaltender, Jukko-Pekka Lokinen, up and over the back glass, and out of play it goes. 9:04 remaining in this second period. The score, Buffalo 3, Winnipeg nothing. You're listening to Play Now, Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
When a story breaks, when severe weather hits, when a traffic issue is going to affect your drive, 680 CJOB is your place to turn for the information you need. Join the city's biggest conversation as expert guests break down the biggest stories, live and local coverage as it's happening. And we get it all started first thing in the morning with The Start. 4 hours of fresh outlooks, engaging conversation, information as you need it, and plenty of fun along the way. Catch The Start 6 to 10 weekday mornings on 680 CJOB.
Jets fans, feel that true North chill and the heat on home ice. Tuesday, December 9th at 7. Your Winnipeg Jets face the Dallas Stars in a matchup you won't want to miss. Get your tickets now at winnipegjets.com/tickets. That's winnipegjets.com/tickets.
Oh, baby!
Mike here for Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools. We asked our customers why they shop with us, and here's what they had to say.
There's a great selection, and I never have to stand in line.
One of the reasons is the staff is very friendly.
That's the best place to get anchors and screws, and the staff is always willing to help you out and get whatever you need.
Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
Hi, I'm Colin Miller. You're listening to Winnipeg Jets hockey with Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Clinton on 680 CJOB.
9:04 remaining in this second period. 3-0 Buffalo. All the goals scoring coming in that first period for the Sabres. Zucker, Byram, and Norris. Zucker's 7th, Byram is 7th, Norris his 1st. We'll do it to the right of Lokinen. Winnipeg's made a goaltending change. Thomas Milic replacing Eric Comrie to start this second period. Jets being outshot 17-12, but as Mitchell has mentioned, playing a little quicker in this second period and trying desperately to get back in this hockey game with a goal. Scheifele sends it around to the far side. Grabbed there by DeMello. Backhands it in toward the corner, stops and starts again here for Scheifele, back in behind the net and trying to roll out in front, getting to the forehand, Velarde. And it rolled off his stick, just popped off his stick, but kept in the line by DeMello. Guy for Morrissey, now for Scheifele up top. Morrissey slap shot, deflected in front, they score! Not sure if Kyle Connor got a stick on it. I think he did. And Kyle Connor will get Winnipeg on the board. A desperately needed goal. Connor's 13th of the year. Winnipeg's on the board with 8.5 remaining in the second. It's 3-1 Buffalo.
Just really good quick puck movement by the Winnipeg Jets. It's a give and go by Mark Scheifele and Josh Morrissey. Morrissey doing his best juking maneuvers at the blue line, trying to shake Josh Norris. And when Norris didn't bite at all, Morrissey said, "Okay, I'll take what you give me," and dumped it down to the half wall to Scheifele. And right as soon as he let that pass go, he made himself an option for the one-timer, ripped it to the net. Kyle Connor net front, good deflection. Winnipeg's on the board.
Kyle Connor is 13th from Josh Morrissey at 11:26. And the time of the goal is Winnipeg will sit it back inside the zone for JS Furniture. Visit them online at furnitureandmore.ca. Puck is sent down inside that Winnipeg end. Jets will try to get it out. Stanley with that long stick, trying to forge it ahead, and Winnipeg will come away with it. Snailing outside his own zone now is Perfetti. All he can do is lob it with a backhand out towards center ice. Here comes Jack Quinn across the line, shoots off the rush. Stick save made by Milic, kicked in toward the corner. Quinn goes after it, body checked in on him by Stanley. Winnipeg came with a puck, and Miller had some problems with it back in behind his own net. Jason Zucker is there. Zucker got the stick up in the face of Miller. And no call. Winnipeg came there to help out, and it's backhanded through the neutral ice safely and back inside that Buffalo end. Byram will backpedal back inside his own zone. Pushed ahead there by Power on the far side for Ostlund. Races inside that Winnipeg end. Give and go didn't click there with Alex Tuck, and Winnipeg expels it back out towards center ice. And here they come with a puck. And Niederreiter trying to get it into where the slot broken up. Alex Tuck flying back inside the Winnipeg end, shooting. Stopped by Milic. Rebound, they score. Tuck from below the goal line. I believe put it off the mask of Milic and back in behind him. And it's a 3-goal lead again for Buffalo. 4-1 for the Sabres.
Oh, and that hurts for Winnipeg because at the other end of the ice, Nino Niederreiter's trying to thread a backhand pass off the rush that if it gets through, Adam Lowry's got nothing but open ice between him and Luukkonen. Instead, it doesn't quite get through. Buffalo's able to come back the other way. Winnipeg somewhat caught in the middle of trying to make a line change. You still end up with numbers at 2-on-2 coming up the ice, but just a bank play by veteran Alex Tuck below the goal line off the mask of Milic.
So Connor is 13th at 11:26, and then Tuck just over a minute later at 12:49, his 9th. He leads the team with 22 points coming in. Time of the goal for JS Furniture. Visit them online at furnitureandmore.ca. So Winnipeg closed the gap for just over a minute and are down by 3 once again. They'll try to sort it out inside their own zone, and they will get the puck out towards center. Wrapped right back in. Hustling after it is Melenstein. Shen goes after it, knocked it into where the corner. A little bit of help there for Milic. Up along the wing to the near side for Pearson. Into where the middle now for Barron. And Barron out towards center ice. We'll send it softly inside that Buffalo end and head off on a line change. Owen Power skips out of his own zone, leading the attack to the near side. He'll hand it off, and Peyton Krebs will just stuff it inside that Winnipeg end. Morrissey out toward his own line to the near side for Scheifele down along the boards. Scheifele will shoot it in. Grabbed again there. And Winnipeg will try to cause a turnover back to where the line. DeMello had to go off his stick. He took the stick out of Jack Quinn's hands. No call. Fans want one. And Winnipeg will go back inside their own zone to pick up the call or pick up the penalty, or pardon me, pick up the puck. And no penalty called, and then an offside call against Buffalo at the Jets line. 5:43 remaining in this second period. 4-1 Buffalo back after these. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Well, you've heard me on the radio and you've listened to my podcast. Well, now you can watch me on YouTube for thought-provoking conversation, fearless interviews that you won't get anywhere else. The Ben Mulroney Show every single day. So go to YouTube, subscribe to the Ben Mulroney Show, and never miss an episode.
Betting with Play Now Sports feels like going from the bench to the starting lineup. Make every game feel like the big game with Play Now, Manitoba's own legal gambling site. Local, legal, secure. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Sleep has never felt this good. Introducing the new Tempur-Pedic Pro-Align mattress, now available at JS Furniture. Engineered with advanced pressure-relieving Tempur material, the Pro-Align adapts to your body for personalized comfort and unmatched support all night long. Wake up refreshed, feel the difference, and discover why Tempur-Pedic is the #1 recommended mattress by sleep experts. Visit JS Furniture in Winnipeg, Portage La Prairie, and Steinbach today and experience the Pro-Align for yourself. JS Furniture, where comfort meets quality. Warm up with hot deals from Coyote at St. Andrews Parts and Power. Right now, you can choose from 2 low finance rate options on the dependable Coyote CK Series tractors. 0% for up to 60 months OAC or 1.99% for up to 84 months OAC. Plus, all Coyote C Series tractors come with a free loader program on a cash deal. Details at standrewspartsandpower.ca, where you'll say, "That guy helped me."
And I can help you too at St. Andrews Parts and Power.
This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by Comrie and Credit Union, JS Furniture, and Boston Pizza. 4-1. Buffalo's in front. Alex Tuck is 9th from Josh Doan at 12:49, the latest goal after Winnipeg and Kyle Connor got within 2. So back to 3, 5:43 remaining in this second period. We do a face-off just outside the Winnipeg line in front of that Sabres bench on the far side, and Taves will win it back inside his own zone. Morrissey, lead pass from Nemesnikov, tried to split 2D and got taken off the puck. McLeod back across the line to the near side for Bowen Byram. He will saunter down into where the corner, rimming around to the far side, waiting for it. There is Taves. Taves hands it off for Morrissey, back to the near side again for DeMello. DeMello up along the boards. He'll puncher it there and get it out towards center ice. Puck will fall back inside that Buffalo end. Timmins under some pressure, turned it over inside that neutral zone. Winnipeg will carry it back inside that Buffalo end to the near side. Perfetti pushed off the puck by McLeod. McLeod now for Krebs, now for Zucker, and lofted out towards center ice. DeMello back inside his own zone. Winnipeg will regroup, and here they come. Taves it across the line. Taves will backhand it back in behind the net. Sauntering after it there to try to one-hand it back toward the line was Perfetti, broken up by the Sabres. And they will catapult it all the way down the ice. Not enough for icing. Both teams will make a change. Lead pass, and Kyle Connor looked like he was going to be onside to take a breakaway pass. When they blow it down, it will be offside. There was two Jets there, but Connor had the puck. Velarde was there as well.
Yeah, it looked like Velarde was trying to redirect it or just kind of slow the pace on that stretch pass up just enough to put it where Kyle Connor could get it. But unfortunately, by doing that, I think it threw the play just a shade offside.
Sabres will chip it inside the Winnipeg end off the stick of Alex Tuck. Back of the retrieve, Stanley. Got stick lifted there, and Josh Doan will hand it back off for Ostlund. Shoots. Bounced off a shin pad back toward the line. Shot came in from Dahlin. Broken up, and Winnipeg will sprint back through that neutral line. Scheifele back out in front for Connor. And a good active stick coming back to knock that away. Came back toward the line. Shin shoots. That's blocked in front off a skate. Wrapped around the board to the near side. Tuck will try to get it out. Velarde trying to hold the line. Stick lift there by Miller. Now for Scheifele. Scheifele down low for Connor. Back out in front. Coming in was Stanley. Couldn't get a stick on it. Broken up by Noah Ostlund. Back the other way on the far side. Greenway across the line for Tuck. Back out in front. Sprinting toward the net was Doan. Couldn't get a stick on it. It's opened up here in Winnipeg. Will sashay it all the way back down from center and head off at a line change. 3:40 remaining in this second period. Bounce back inside that Winnipeg end. After goes Sandberg. Makes a move and curls into where the corner. Now up along the boards for Iafallo. He got it out towards center ice. Owen Power will collect that. Played back inside his own zone for Jacob Bryson. Bryson's pass into where the middle. Trying to steer that ahead with the runner move is Greenway. He got knocked off the puck. Loose puck at center ice, and it's off a stick. It goes off the Pacioretty glass, and out of play it goes. And we'll get a stoppage with 3:20 remaining in this second period. 4-1 for Buffalo. Jet fans, it's not too late to become a season ticket member. Full, half, and quarter season memberships are still available at prorated prices. Lock in this season with a prorated membership by visiting winnipegjets.com/memberships.
And Winnipeg very nearly with a glorious chance to cut that lead again. Mark Scheifele's pass looking for Kyle Connor on the back door. The play we've seen him execute numerous times just kind of grazes the skate, I believe, of Samuelsson.
Nyquist will drop it. Now hopping inside the zone was Barron. Barron tried to squeeze off a shot that got blocked. It's grabbed again here to the near side by Pearson. Back toward the line. Shen on the far side now for Sandberg. His shot blocked in front. Winnipeg trying to get that rebound in some skates. And coming away with the puck in the pile, but being ushered into where the corner was Nyquist, but he got it back in behind the net. Barron trying to protect the puck. Barron rolling to the forehand. Barron a cutback move. Barron knocked down. Winnipeg trying to help out and support their Nyquist. Back for Barron, back toward the line. Shen, far side for Sandberg. In the slot for Pearson. Turn. His shot is blocked. And the rebound goes right to Zach Benson. He'll outlet it far side for Thompson. And Thompson will shoot it in from center ice and head off on a line change. 2.5 remaining in this second period.
And a couple of reasons why Winnipeg is still sitting on 12 shots. A couple of times on that shift. Pearson in the high slot. Puck doesn't get to the net. And another one where it's just unfortunate. Barron trying to be a moving screen or try to deflect it. It ends up getting caught up in him. And so that point shot doesn't end up getting through.
Jack Quinn far side for Jason Zucker across the line. Dropped it there. And McLeod will steer it back around the boards and send it back toward the line. Zucker back toward the line again. Dahlin slap shot. It's stopped by Milic. It looked like it stung the goaltender. It popped right to one of the Jets, and hopping through that neutralizes Morrissey. Far side now for Taves. Taves curls into where the corner got squeezed out. And McLeod will race out towards center ice with the puck. 3-on-2. McLeod to the near side. Zucker back out in front, and a backhand stopped by Milic. And another shot back out in front coming in late. After it was denied off the stick of Jack Quinn, and then coming in to pound the puck, there was Samuelsson. Milic made both saves. Winnipeg, Nemesnikov moving in, shoots, stop, rebound, and Nemesnikov got plowed into toward the net. It stays on its pegs. Winnipeg can't get the rebound in Perfetti, and Buffalo out towards center ice, and they will dump it down inside that Winnipeg end.
Boy, what a turn of momentum that would have been. Some great kind of desperate defending. I think Cole Perfetti comes up with a big block in front of Milic to help out too, and then it's him involved in the 2-on-1 the other way.
Shifley trying to roll off a check there of Owen Power. Got a little bit of help now from Velarde. Velarde back in behind the net. He's stapled against the boards. It's kicked back halfway toward the line. Darting to it quickly, though, is Cal Connor for Velarde. Under a minute to go in the second period. 4-1 Buffalo. 50 seconds back toward the line. Stanley shoots through traffic. Stopped by Jukka-Pekka Lokinen. And he'll hang on for a whistle. 45 seconds remaining in the second. 4-1 for the Sabres.
And up until that last sequence of play, Winnipeg, in terms of the high danger chances generated in this period, at 4-1 in favor of Winnipeg. So they're getting the puck to the areas that they need to. They've scored on one of those opportunities, that being the deflection, but they've had a couple of good looks that just haven't been able to beat Luukkonen or get to the net like we just talked about. You know, I've liked Winnipeg's second period a lot better than the first.
So far, the score is 1-1 in this second, but it was 3-0 after one for Buffalo. Greenway goes rumbling inside the zone, trying to get the puck freed. Byram pinches in. Greenway again for Mallenstein, rimmed around to the far side, kept into the line by Timmins. Timmins into the corner for Beck Mallenstein, trying to get it back out in front, knocked away by Winnipeg. DeMello to the near side and into toward the middle, and Winnipeg's out towards center ice. Shifley will shift down inside that Buffalo end. Shifley into where the corner, trying to get it out in front, came back toward the line. DeMello will get it back toward the line, but the pass was going one way. Morrissey was going the other. Right idea. Winnipeg just not executing on that, and that'll do it for 40 minutes here in Buffalo tonight. 4-1, the Sabres lead it.
Yeah, and DeMello with a little bit of a stick slap as he heads off, because he knew it was probably a pretty good look for Winnipeg if that pass connects. So a tough one there. Like we said, probably a little bit more things that Winnipeg would like in that second period that they were able to do probably at both ends of the ice, just not able to capitalize on some opportunities that they had in the offensive end. So clearly the next goal, a big one for Winnipeg here.
Marty Johnston, assistant coach, is downstairs and ready to go. Thanks a lot for taking the time. Marty, a better second period than the first?
Yeah, I thought it was a much better period. I thought our pressure was better, and we had obviously limited some of their rush game, which we saw in the first period. But, you know, we're going to have to continue to claw back here against a real quick Buffalo team.
And Marty, when Buffalo is getting their speed game going and attacking on transition, kind of what are the keys for you guys to be able to defend against that, to limit how many of those opportunities that they get so you can attack the other way?
Yeah, we have to make sure that we're establishing pressure up ice so that we're not allowing them to build speed and have the time to build that speed. So we have to make sure we have established that pressure to make them put pucks on the wall and not have them come up through the middle of the ice against us.
Marty, you've talked about this before. When you have to come back into a game, it becomes a four-man rush up the ice for your team. That's out of necessity now, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think we have to make sure that, you know, we're not only coming up the ice as four, but putting as many pucks to the net as we can. You know, obviously you saw the goal that we had. It was a shot with a screen, and we're going to have to make sure that we do that in the third.
Thanks for your time. Good luck in the third.
Thanks.
Marty Johnston from downstairs joining us, and assistant coach of the Winnipeg Jets. Summed it up rather nicely, and so did you as well. Winnipeg needs another goal in the early stages of the third period to get back in this hockey game. They got it midway through the second period, but then gave up the goal right back. And that's been something that we've seen with some regularity this year on the part of the Jets. Let's have a look at that stat summary through 40 minutes. And the second period summary is brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Manitoba. 2 minutes and 46 seconds in to the hockey game on the power play. Jason Zucker, who spent so many years with the Minnesota Wild in scoring goals against the Jets, gets one for Buffalo here, his 7th of the year from Doan and Norris. And then 15 seconds later, Bowen Byram on a partial 3-on-1. He takes a pass and rips it past Eric Comrie, his 5th from Quinn and Timmins at 3:01. And then making it 3-0 was Josh Norris, his 1st of the year, 2nd point in this game, his return, and he's only played now in 2 games. Thompson collects the assist on that at 14:54. and it was 3-0 for Buffalo after 1 period of play. Kyle Connor made it 3-1 at 11:26, his 13th from Morrissey unofficially, but Winnipeg gives up a goal right back a minute and 23 seconds later. Alex Tuck, his 9th from Doan, makes it 4-1 as Buffalo regains that 3-goal lead. By the way, Eric Comrie did not return after the first period. Thomas Milic came in to start the second period, and Milic replaces Comrie after the first to start the second, and he'll carry over into the third as well. In the second, no penalties for either team. Power plays look like this. There was one each handed out in the first, and DeMello takes a holding call. Buffalo scores on that, so 1 for 1 of the Sabres with the man advantage so far. Rasmus Dahlin took an interference call, and the Jets did not score on that, so the Jets are 0 for 1. And Winnipeg 1 for 9 so far on the trip with the man advantage. Shots on goal, Winnipeg out shooting Buffalo in that second period, 7-6, but Buffalo out shooting Winnipeg overall through 2, 21-14. Second intermission report is coming up next with Kelly Moore, Dwayne Gilowodchuk, and Christian O'Mell. The score after 2, Buffalo 4, Winnipeg 1. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
True crime fans, your new obsession is here. Crime Time. 2 full hours of uninterrupted true crime from some of Canada's most notorious cases. For the first time, we're bringing award-winning true crime podcasts to radio with Crime Time. Listen for Crime Time Saturdays from midnight to 2 right here on 680 CJOB on the iHeartRadio app, or just say play 680 CJOB to your smart speaker.
When your business runs on hard work, you need a partner built the same way. Inland Truck and Equipment, your Kenworth dealer for all of Manitoba, delivers sales, parts, service, and financing that keep your fleet moving. With locations in Winnipeg and Brandon and a proud Canadian-owned history, Inland stands behind the world's best trucks. Inland Truck and Equipment, the hard work behind the hard work. Learn more at inland-group.com.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never-give-up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL Shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca, a Fanatics experience.
The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey.
The teams exchange goals in the first period, but because Buffalo dominated the first, scoring all 3 goals, a comfortable 4-1 lead for the Sabres after 40 minutes of play. And Buffalo, as most teams are, with the lead after 2 periods this year, they won 6 of 7 games. The Jets have lost 7 of 8 trailing, and overcoming a 3-goal deficit is certainly going to be something if Winnipeg was able to pull that off. Hey, Jets fans, get the perfect gift this holiday season by purchasing a holiday bundle. Receive 2 tickets to a select game of your choice and a toque for only $109. You can get your holiday bundle today by visiting a Jets gear store near you. Well, Dwayne Gilowodchuk, the narrative in that second period from a Jets perspective was they played a better period than they did in the first, but I thought kind of there was no way to go but up, too.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot left at the more that, they could go down the totem pole, if you want to say that. But I thought Winnipeg was the better team throughout that period, but they just couldn't still catch up to Buffalo. Buffalo had made such a statement in that first period, the level of play, the speed of the play. And Winnipeg at times looked like they could establish a forecheck, establish some ozone time, but they just couldn't do it anything continuous or anything established to try and change the momentum. Buffalo was just that one step ahead still.
The shots so far in the game, 22-14. Winnipeg just 6 shots on goal in that second period, while Buffalo had 8 on Thomas Milic. And really this should be a 3-1 game going to the third period. Milich's reaction said it all, and I think Colin Miller kind of stared up into the rafters too after that fourth Buffalo goal. Off a mask and in from below the goal line. That kind of sums up the Jets season so far, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're seeing that shot more often by goal scorers. You put a puck on net, you try and go high, but still that's a bounce. Like that's just a bad luck bounce. Especially in the way the game is going. Those goals aren't supposed to go in, but you put a puck on net, you never know how the puck's going to go in the net. But you feel for the Winnipeg Jets on that. They score a minute and 30 seconds or 38 seconds later, Buffalo comes down. A little bit of a bad line change into session. Not a lot of communication there. The puck didn't get deep, but still, those types of goals should not go in. It's just a bad luck bounce.
You could possibly categorize it as a mercy pull of Eric Comrie in the first period, or after the first period, rather. But when you look at the goals, I mean, he has that initial Buffalo shot on the Sabres power play goal, the initial shot by Josh Doan, but he's not able to cover it up. Byram beats him over the left shoulder on the far post. Norris is able to tuck a backhander through traffic because Eric wasn't able to cover the low part of the ice. I mean, trust me, his team did not play well in front of him, but I didn't think Eric did anything to help himself either.
No, I think it's a little bit of a head coach, again, using some of the cards that he has access to and maybe trying to send a message to his hockey club. Coaches will sometimes do that by pulling their goaltender after a period that they didn't like their hockey club in. But Eric Comrie needs to find a way. He needs to do that save, make that save somewhere for his hockey club. He's got to feel how the team is. He sees how the team is playing in front of him. He's got to be able to make a save, to make a stop, to make a difference, to do his part, and just letting his team kind of get their legs underneath them.
Yeah, and they never did, giving up those two goals just 15 seconds apart in the opening 3 minutes, and they have been chasing ever since. Just in that second period, though, one of the things that really, at least I thought, provided a better sense from Winnipeg was we went 7 minutes and 37 seconds without a whistle from the start to the first time out. So at least the Jets were able to get into somewhat of a flow. Now, Buffalo was as well, but there was no sense of that in the first period at all.
No, it just seemed that Buffalo wasn't forechecking as hard or what it was, but they seemed to. Winnipeg was a little bit more direct with their passes. They were, chipping pucks in behind the D. They were transitioning a little bit more. One thing that Buffalo continued to do, they had that stretch pass. They go D to D in their zone, and they really stretched that one winger on the strong side on the puck. And Winnipeg seemed to combat that a little bit and knock some of those down. So Winnipeg was able to turn some of those pucks down over and kind of get back going on the forecheck again. So it's a little bit of adjustment they made, but Buffalo still was able to get some speed and come with numbers at times, but at least Winnipeg was skating a little bit when they had the puck.
Cole Perfetti really caught my eye. He had that nice setup to find Colin Miller. He gets into the zone first and is patient with the puck. Everybody goes in deep, and then he finds Miller trailing, and Colin's able to let a pretty good blast get away. Beck Mellenstein blocked it, but boy, I'll tell you, he sure felt that. And then it would have been 5-1 because of that Cole Perfetti, that block shot saved the sure goal after Milich made that save on the partial breakaway.
Yeah, he's doing some things. He's one, if you want to say a positive note, especially in that second period for the Jets. You can tell that he's getting a lot more comfortable on the ice. He's playing a 200-foot game, but for me, his puck possession, his awareness now is started to come back from when he was injured. And, that play that he makes for Miller, he's able to hold on to that puck. Everybody goes by him. He delays, and Miller really stepped into that shot. So that's a Cole Perfetti play that we've seen in the past.
Buffalo with a 4-1 lead after 40 minutes of play. Christian O'Mell will bring us up to date on the other scores around the National Hockey League and the provincial volleyball finals at Investors Group Athletic Center as well. Here on the second intermission report on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
If it matters to you, it matters to us.
We would like to hear from you.
We'll continue to take your calls and text messages.
We heard you. I think our listeners hear you. And you are our ears to the ground out in the community.
Thank you for sharing your stories with 680 CJOB.
Betting with Play Now Sports feels like going from the bench to the starting lineup. Make every game feel like the big game with Play Now, Manitoba's own legal gambling site. Local, legal, secure. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Cambrian Credit Union helps Manitobans plan for every financial milestone, big and small. All this while giving back to the community and Cambrian members. Keep your money right here in Manitoba. From getting your first credit card for concert tickets at the Burt, to buying a home in Southdale or Garden City with expert mortgage advice, to planning for retirement on Lake Winnipeg. Wherever you're going, Cambrian Credit Union can help you get there. Member owned and proudly local. Visit cambrian.mb.ca.
Whether you're recovering from an injury, trying to keep up with the grandkids, or hoping to move with confidence again, physiotherapy can help you feel your best. Physiotherapists are trained in movement and work with you to restore mobility, reduce pain, and support lifelong health. From everyday aches to post-surgical recovery to staying active as you age, Physio keeps Manitobans moving. And you can visit a physiotherapist directly. No doctor's referral needed in private clinics. Find a physiotherapist near you at mbphysio.org. Move better, live better.
Winnipeg Jets exclusive coverage continues on 680 CJOB and CJKR 97.5 FM Powered 97. This is Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
Winnipeg Jets trailing the Buffalo Sabres by a score of 4-1. Zucker, Byram, Norris, and Tuck have scored for Buffalo. Kyle Connor with his 13th of the year, a deflection off a Josh Morrissey point shot, the lone goal getter for Winnipeg. And I guess depending on what happens in St. Louis and barring a unexpected comeback in the third period tonight in Buffalo, Christian, the Jets could find themselves second to last in the Central Division tomorrow morning. But we'll see what happens between the Blues and the Ducks.
Yeah, the Blues dealing with a lot of injuries right now, down 2-1 to the Ducks in the middle of the second period. All the goals scored in a short stretch in the first period. Minchikov has the go-ahead goal for the Ducks. Also underway in Philly, it's still 3-1 for Pittsburgh, about 9.5 minutes to go there. Sidney Crosby has a couple of goals, while New Jersey had an early 2-0 lead, now down 4-2 at home to Columbus. Brendan Dillon playing in his 1,000th game tonight, former Jet. He got in a fight, which feels a fitting way to celebrate for Dillon. Briefly left the game, but he did return. Coming up a little bit later on after 9 o'clock, the Mammoth visit the Sharks. In the NFL tonight, not much of a Monday nighter. It's the Patriots all over the Giants, 24-7, late in the second quarter. Congratulations to the Vincent Massey Vikings of Brandon as they win their second straight girls 4A high school volleyball championship, besting Collège Jean Sauvé in 4 sets this evening. The boys' final between St. Paul's and Dakota is getting underway in a matter of minutes.
All right, thank you, Mr. O'Mell. 4-1 Buffalo with the lead into the third period. Can the Winnipeg Jets at least make it interesting? Stick around to find out on Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
This is my fight song.
The Ben Mulrooney Show.
Hey everyone, I'm Ben Mulrooney, and yes, I'm still talking for a living. You can hear the Ben Mulrooney Show on the radio, you can listen to it as a podcast, and now you can watch it on YouTube. That's right, same show, same voice, now with moving pictures. Just go to YouTube, type Ben Mulrooney Show into the search bar, and click subscribe. So whether you like your content in your ears, in your car, or on your couch, I've got you covered. The Ben Mulrooney Show, radio, podcast, and now on YouTube. Like and subscribe.
Altitude check, Jets fans. Catch a Thursday night game on December 11th at 7 when your Winnipeg Jets face off against the Boston Bruins and look to lock down a win on home ice. Be a part of the energy and bring the noise at Canada Life Center. Get your tickets now at winnipegjets.com/tickets. That's winnipegjets.com/tickets.
In today's business world, hiring and retaining staff is a challenge, but Chambers Plan Employee Benefits gives you an edge. A solid benefits plan can be the deciding factor for job seekers. 30,000 Canadian businesses agree. Chambers Plan gives you the flexibility to offer comprehensive benefits with affordable, stable premiums. See how Chambers Plan can benefit your business at buychambers.ca. That's BUY chambers.ca.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast, recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Winnipeg Jets Hockey Club is expressly prohibited. Bet on Manitoba. Enjoy responsibly. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets Hockey on 680 CJOB.
Well, let's see what happens in this third period, because it's not going to get any easier for the Winnipeg Jets. They're going to go from Buffalo into Montreal on Wednesday night. Buffalo's the second youngest team, and they play fast in the National Hockey League. Montreal is the youngest team in the National Hockey League, and they play like Buffalo. So Winnipeg has to find their way to accelerating their pace here. Down by 3 goals, 4-1 at the end of 2, just about ready for the start of an important third period on this road trip. And we're underway. Winnipeg scrambles back inside their own zone with a puck. The Jets are flying from a broadcast right to left. Sandberg will outlet it to the near side for Kyle Connors. He fell back inside his own zone to the near side for Scheifele. Punchered off the wall and down inside that Buffalo end. Samuelson, long lead pass, knocked away at center ice. Scheifele shifts back inside his own zone with a puck. Tried to pass it to the near side. Careens off a body and a stick there. And then it's swept back out toward the neutral ice by Buffalo. Stepping off the bench and rifling one right back in there is DeMello. Rasmus Sandin. Or Darlene will send it in, and a lead pass. Josh Norris moving in, and a backhand shot. He scores. Rasmus Dahlin with a pass for Josh Norris up the middle. Norris walked in on a breakaway, beats Thomas Milic along the ice. And it's 5-1 Buffalo, and in his return, Josh Norris has 3 points tonight.
Yeah, he's been very good for the Buffalo Sabres, and you can see just what they were missing in the lineup, not having him there. I mean, over the last 4 years, he's played 115 games just because of all the injuries. But before that, you know, with Ottawa, he was a prolific scorer, 35 goals in 2021-22. So you get that kind of offensive weapon back in the lineup and give him a breakaway opportunity as well. He makes the most of it.
So Norris, his second from Dahlin, 41 seconds in to the third period. The time of the goal for JS Furniture. Visit them online at furnitureandmore.ca. Winnipeg will come back inside the Buffalo end. They squeeze off a shot from Pearson. Bounced off a body there and out towards center ice. The puck is expressed back inside of that Winnipeg end. Stanley shifting through that neutral ice will flop it in. Bounced off the back wall. Connor Timmins rims it around to the far side. Pulled off the wall there by Jack Quinn. Tried to move it ahead for Zucker. Zucker got run into there by Sandberg, and Sandberg will get it back out towards center ice. Zucker at center and across the line. Zucker will try to get it back out in front. Winnipeg will knock that away with a good active stick. Pouncing on a loose puck now is Nemestikov. Near side Perfetti across the line and off the rush. Taves shoots and it's stopped by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Rebound back toward the line. Sandberg will hold it, but not for very long. Zucker onto the far side for Jack Quinn. Quinn and across the line to the near side now for Owen Power, who jumped up. His shot goes off a skate boot and up and over the back glass, and out of play it goes. 2 minutes have expired in this third period. 5-1 Buffalo, their largest lead of the night. Winnipeg Jets hockey brought to you in part by Mr. Furnace and the Dairy Farmers of Manitoba.
Well, you heard Marty Johnson at the second intermission talk about one of the best ways to prevent that transition and rush and speed game of the Buffalo Sabres is to try to get pressure on them early. And you know, it's been a challenge for Winnipeg to be able to do that. I mean, they were kind of between a little bit of a line change on the goal that comes just under a minute into this period, and you just see how much confidence Buffalo is playing with right now.
Lowry will win a battle below the goal line and get the puck out to the far side, and DeMello to center ice will shoot it in. Puck kicks off the back wall, back out in front. Winnipeg and Morrissey will hold it. Shoots it in toward the corner. Winnipeg will wave after it. They came away with it. Now Lowry back in behind the net for Iafallo. Iafallo trying to kick it along the boards. Niederreiter there to try to help out. 3 Jets, 3 Buffalo Sabres rimmed around to the far side. Kept alive by DeMello near side for Morrissey. Shoots! And it goes off the side of the net. Niederreiter trying to get after it. Ran into the goaltender. Onto the far side. Buffalo will try to get it out again on the far side. Kept in by Niederreiter, but he put it right on the stick of Rasmus Dahlin, the captain, who spins away from the check and skewers the puck around the board to the near side for Matthias Samuelsson. And Samuelsson playing catch now with Dahlin up along the wing for Krebs into the middle for Jordan Greenway. Back for Krebs and across the line. Krebs moves in, shoots, and he ripped it wide with a wrist shot. Bounced off the back wall. One of the officials fell on the far side. Shifley near side for Connor. Connor inside the zone, puts on the brakes, gets it back to the high slot. Here comes Miller moving in, shooting, and it's stopped by Jukka-Pekka Jokinen. Will then have it go off of him and out towards center ice. Miller will cast it ahead again. Onto the far side. Bowen Byram will slide by a check. Try to get it out. It's kept in by Kyle Connor onto the far side. At the side of the slot for Shifley off a stick. That is broken up and tumbled all the way down. There's going to be a race for the puck. And Zach Benson's there first. He got crunched with an elbow by Stanley. And then here comes Tage Thompson wanting to get a piece of Stanley. Benson's got back up to his skates. He's skated into the frame. Linesmen have moved in to make sure nothing more happens. Stanley is going to pick up the call on that, and it's likely an elbow or a roughing call.
Yeah, Stanley just finishing his check after Benson gets there first. I'm going to guess elbow. Didn't see the sign from the official, but it's kind of the first thing that pops up. You see it kind of get up into the neck, jaw area.
Winnipeg number 64 is a minor penalty for elbowing.
And of course, Tage Thompson's going to come over and defend his teammate there. Logan Stanley just playing hard after Benson had won the race to negate the icing. A little bit of a size difference there, but the elbow certainly does come out.
So because of encroachment, the faceoff will come outside on the Winnipeg Jets blue line. And Winnipeg shorthanded for the second time tonight. They win the draw. DeMello off the boards now for Lowry. Chugs toward that Buffalo line and got it down about halfway inside the zone. Dahlin, near side for Tage Thompson. He'll drop it at center ice. Through that neutral ice, Josh Norris with 3 points tonight, including a couple goals. Lost the puck at the line. And Barron then will snap it down inside that Buffalo end. So Buffalo 1 for 1 with a man advantage tonight. They're on power play number 2. They lead at 5-1. And sent around to the near side. Thompson back toward the line. Verdone cast in toward the corner for Norris. Norris squeezed out by Winnipeg. In to help out is Dahlin. Pearson trying to wrap it off the boards there and pull it off the wall. Dahlin came away with it. In on him is Nyquist. It's up in the air, settled down. Nyquist got a backhand back toward the line, kept alive by Zucker. Verdone up top for Zucker. Zucker will pass it back off for Dahlin. Into where the corner goes on the far side. Stopped there by Winnipeg, but they can't get it out. Came back toward the line. Held by Dahlin, near side for Norris. Shoots, and it's blocked nicely by Sandberg, but Winnipeg can't garner the rebound. Onto the far side, Thompson. Up top, Dahlin. Near side, Norris. Chipped toward the net. Sliding out to block. That was Sandberg. He comes away with a puck, and he'll move it ahead for Nyquist, who chipped it around Dahlin and then sprinted toward the net, but Jukka-Pekka Jokinen came out to make the play and outlet it to the near side for Jack Quinn, who spins away from some pressure. 25 seconds remaining in the power play for Buffalo. Out of his own zone, McLeod turned over the puck on the far side. Partial 2-on-1. Winnipeg back out in front. Kyle Connor to the backhand. It's stopped by the left pad of Luukkonen. And he gets paid off by the fans here. Kyle Connor shorthanded, trying to get the puck back out in front. And Iafallo squirms to the puck. He got beaten to the biscuit there by a couple of Buffalo Sabres. Sabres come back inside that Winnipeg end, try to get it back out in front. And then waltzing off the boards to hold the line on the high slot. There is Quinn on a 50-50 puck. He got it toward the front of the net. Winnipeg will express it again back to the far side, and Kyle Connor will lift it back down through that neutral ice and inside that Buffalo end, and Winnipeg will get a change. Penalty is over. Stanley's out of the penalty box.
That's good hard work up ice by Alex Iafallo to be able to get to that puck first and find Kyle Connor in the middle of the ice. And I don't know the last time I saw Kyle Connor stopped on 2 consecutive breakaways, one tonight and one in Carolina.
Both shorthanded, no less. Get an offside call, and we'll take a timeout on the ice and do the same on your radio. 13:37 remaining in this third period. 5-1 Buffalo. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Weekends with Ben O'Hara Byrne.
It's a brand new show made just for your weekends. Smart, chill, and full of voices worth hearing. It's the new Weekends with me, Ben O'Hara Byrne. Mornings on 680 CJOB.
Betting with Play Now Sports feels like going from the bench to the starting lineup. Make every game feel like the big game with Play Now, Manitoba's own legal gambling site. Local, legal, secure. 18 plus. Enjoy responsibly.
At Boston Pizza, we know the holiday season can be a lot.
Have you done your shopping yet?
I make my gingerbread from scratch.
I know you can't visit.
Why are Christmas lights suddenly like $50 at like 1%? I can't fit in this anymore.
But I don't have an ugly sweater. I make my gingerbread from scratch.
What you wearing for the holiday party?
Take a holla break at Boston Pizza. Cozy up in one of our booths for an espresso martini and maybe some delicious matzo sticks. When the season gets stressful, take a holla break at your local BP. Must be legal drinking age.
Mike here for Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools. We asked our customers why they shop with us, and here's what they had to say.
There's a great selection, and I never have to stand in line.
One of the reasons is the staff is very friendly.
That's the best place to get anchors and screws, and the staff is always willing to help you out and get whatever you need.
Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
Hey, this is Vlad Nemesnikov, and you're listening to Winnipeg Jets Hockey with Paul Edmonds and Mitchell Klim on 680 CJOB.
5-1 Buffalo in front. Winnipeg Jets Hockey brought to you in part by Chamber Insurance and Boston Pizza. And Buffalo is proving that they are a good young team. Unpredictable, but very good here at home at 8-5-2, and really in command of this one with 13.5 remaining in the third period. They will swiftly play it out towards center ice and get it down inside the Winnipeg end. Stanley goes after it there against Greenway. They collide back in behind that Winnipeg net. Mallenstein trying to dig it off the wall. Miller is there to help out his defense partner. Perfetti there trying to dig it off the wall. Puck is kicked into the corner. Winnipeg and Taves trying to chop it up along the boards. That was broken up. Taves will get it back again. Turns and fires it, flops it out toward the line. Glove back in by Samuelson, but nobody can touch it. For Buffalo, would have been a glove hand pass. Out towards center ice is Taves. He'll dump it in. Krebs goes after it, knocked it into the corner. Buffalo's going to be out of their own zone with some speed and some numbers, and here comes Dahlin onto the far side. Drop and a pass for Samuelson, and his shot goes wide. Kept in by Dahlin to the near side for Krebs. Now for Doan, wrapped around the boards. First one on it is Tuck. Tuck will saunter into the corner, trying to play it back in behind the net. Morrissey broke that up. Morrissey can't get it out, though. It stays inside the zone. Back toward the line. Timmins shoots, and it's off the blocker of Milic. Up and over the corner glass, and out of play it goes. Jet fans, check out the latest Jets offers and bundles at winnipegjets.com/offers. Experience game day and more with packages like the Coca-Cola 4-pack, Tuesday night out, and the stay and save bundle. That's winnipegjets.com/offers to plan your next game night out.
Well, Alex Tuck is a UFA at the end of the season, and no doubt that, I mean, talk about a guy that you'd love to continue to have in your lineup if you're Buffalo. Guy, since he came to Buffalo at the start of the 2021-22 season, 265 points. That's third on the team. Goals, he's second at 114. First among forwards in time on ice at 1905. Just a big part of what they do here.
Back toward the line. Held by Connor Timmins. Rifles it toward the net. Stopped by Milic as Winnipeg loses 2 face-offs in a row inside their own zone, and Scott Arniel has seen enough, and here comes a new line.
Yeah, it'll be the Lowry line hopping over. They're drawing Lowry's strong side here. He'll go up against Tage Thompson. Lowry so far 2 for 5 in the game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Alex Tuck part of that Jack Eichel deal that went the other way.
Yes.
Winnipeg will snap it off the boards and out towards center ice it goes. Niederreiter will just shoot it down inside of that Buffalo end. 5-1 Buffalo in front. We played 8 minutes of this third period. 12 minutes to go. Niederreiter back toward the line. Sandberg far side for Shen. Makes a nice move. Shen still with the puck. Shen waiting. Then he got carved off the puck. And it's a lead pass now for Norris with 2 goals. Rumbling in. And he got caught from behind by the other 9. In Alex Iafallo, the Buffalo product. And he gets swept off the puck. Never got a shot away. Good backtrack by Alex Iafallo in his hometown here tonight. Not liking the score, but certainly liking that play and the commitment to continuing to play, even though you're down by 4. Dumped inside of that Buffalo end. Owen Power stops up into the corner. Retreats back in behind his own net. Put the puck to the near side. First one on it is Tanner Pearson. Pearson into the corner, trying to work along the boards. Now for Barron. Barron flushed it back in behind the net. Zucker is there, and he fires it over the glass and out of play. And is there going to be a penalty against Jason Zucker for delay of game? I believe there is.
Well, and here's your opportunity for Winnipeg.
Buffalo 17 has a minor penalty for a delay of game.
Down by 4, yes, with 11:08 to go. So you'd like to get one here, and then you would also like to see the top unit really get themselves set up against this really aggressive Buffalo PK. It looks like a little bit of a switch going on here on the Scheifele unit as Alex Iafallo hops out there. Taking Cole Perfetti's spot, it looks like.
And Winnipeg won the draw. But Velarde put it right back toward the line. And sniffing that out was Alex Tuck. And he will deposit the puck all the way down inside that Winnipeg end. Jets on the power play for the second time tonight. They are 0 for 1. They trail 5-1. Under 11 minutes remaining in this third period. Through the neutral ice, Scheifele. Scheifele into the corner, got popped off the puck, but got it back toward the line. Cast into the corner, Velarde on the far side for Connor. Connor back toward the line for Morrissey. He walks the line. Morrissey on the forehand, passed it off for Connor. High slot shoots, deflected in front, kicked away by Jukka-Pekka Luukkonen. And the rebound absconded with now by McLeod, and bounding down inside the Winnipeg end it goes off McLeod's stick. Morrissey, far side. Into the middle, it's kicked there for Scheifele. Scheifele carving his way between the blue lines. Knifes his way inside the zone, hands it back off for Iafallo back toward the line on the far side. Velarde into the corner for Connor. Connor rolls off the boards. Connor down low. Velarde drop step, tried to come out in front. That stopped. Iafallo there as well. Cast around the boards. It's stopped by Connor back toward the line for Morrissey. Far side for Connor. Connor looking. Connor top of the circle. Still stick handling up top again for Morrissey. Near side for Scheifele. Back for Morrissey. Morrissey looking toward the net. Surveying. Far side for Connor. Rolls off the boards. Connor chipped it into the corner for Iafallo. Back of the far side again for Connor. Connor back toward the line for Morrissey. Back down low for Iafallo. Back for Connor at the hash of the far side. Connor, rink wide to the near side. Velarde a shot. He put it over the net. It came off the back wall, back out in front, and it's wristed off the boards by Buffalo and sent all the way down the ice.
Yeah, nobody knew where that was after it came off the back glass, and if Winnipeg was able to track it, they might have been able to whack it back toward the net. It took a split second of that puck landing in front for anybody to know where it was.
Samuelson knocked it back in behind his own net and grabbed it again. Rimmed it around to the far side. Stopped by Miller. Miller on the far side now for Taves. Twisting and turning. Taves rubs off a check there of Samuelson. Tried to hand it back off for Nemesnikov. Nemesnikov got flat-footed. It's picked up by Zucker, who's out of the penalty box. Zucker to the near side for Connor Timmins, who raced in to join the rush. He got taken off the puck. Winnipeg will just sort it out. Now they lost the puck back out in front. And a shot by McLeod as he weaved through a couple of Jets checks. It was stopped by Milic, and Winnipeg will get it back out towards center ice. Finds the stick of Nemesnikov across the line. Nemesnikov pushed against the boards on the far side by Tuck. Puck back out towards center ice. Shin will wrist it in. Hit Nemesnikov. We'll get an offside call against the Jets. 8:25 remaining in this third period. The score, Buffalo 5, Winnipeg 1. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey and the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
If you got pain in your
Do you go to just anybody, or do you want to take your to the best? Yeah, you go with the top guy, like Dr. Jay Buenafé. He is one of the top-rated doctors on RateMD.
Approximately 1 in 10 men suffer from a condition called Peyronie's disease. It can cause pain and discomfort. Learn how Dr. Jay Buenafé can help. Book your confidential visit at buenafeclinic.com.
Cambrian Credit Union helps Manitobans plan for every financial milestone, big and small. All this while giving back to the community and Cambrian members. Keep your money right here in Manitoba. From getting your first credit card for concert tickets at the Burt, to buying a home in Southdale or Garden City with expert mortgage advice, to planning for retirement on Lake Winnipeg. Wherever you're going, Cambrian Credit Union can help you get there. Member owned and proudly local. Visit cambrian.mb.ca.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. You most definitely will at South Beach Casino and Resort. Join us December 13th for our Holly Jolly Christmas cash giveaway. We're spreading cheer with $15,000 in prizes. 10 lucky winners will take home $1,500 each, just in time for Christmas shopping. South Beach Casino and Resort, making it a holly jolly holiday season. Ho, ho, ho. For details, visit southbeachcasino.ca.
You are locked and loaded to Winnipeg Jets hockey on 680 CJOB.
On to Montreal for Wednesday night. Still 8:25 to go in this third period here, but Buffalo in command by 4 at 5-1. Paul Edmonds, Mitchell Clinton with you as we welcome you back to Western New York.
And kind of like what we've been referencing throughout with Buffalo and consistency, like you go out, you get a win over a team like Minnesota, who has been pretty much getting points from absolutely everybody over the last month especially, and look what you could translate it into an effort like this against Winnipeg. And you know, for if they could find that level of consistency, they could be right around that playoff line.
Pearson trying to put it back out in front. That's broken up. And again, swiftly out towards center ice is Josh Norris. He will tumble it back inside that Winnipeg end. Norris with 2 goals and an assist tonight. 3 points in his second game of the year. And a long-awaited return here for Buffalo. Up along the boards onto the far side. Stopped by Jacob Bryson. Tumbled around back and behind the net for Zach Benson. Trying to escape. Luke Shen in on him. Benson controls the puck, protects the puck, put it back toward the line. Power, side of the net now for Tage Thompson out in front. Stopped by Milic. Rebound, grabbed by Shen. Outlet at far side for Pearson. Skips inside the zone, trying to join the rush as Barron. Pearson stops up into the corner, trying to wrap around that stop by Jukka-Pekka Luukkonen back toward the line. DeMello now for Morrissey. Morrissey will make a pass to himself. Morrissey got taken off the puck. Staying in on him was Tuck. Tuck inside his own zone, rolled off the boards. Iafallo in on him. Tuck will hand it back off for Owen Power. Far side for Bryson. Bryson got carried into where the corner there and pushed off the puck by Iafallo, but got some help, and Bryson got it back again. Beatles back in behind his own net. Still in tow as Iafallo makes a pass to the far side and a long lead pass toward the near side for Oslin. Scampers inside the Winnipeg end. Picked up the puck, put it to the far side for Doan. Doan taken off the puck by DeMello, but it squirts back toward the line. It's held by Darlene to the near side for Samuelson. Shoveled with a backhand back around the boards to the far side. Doan wins the battle. High slot again. Samuelson for Darlene. Darlene slings it toward the net. And it's off of Niederreiter, who went out to challenge up and over the back glass, and out of play it goes. 6:36 remaining in the third period. 5-1 Buffalo.
Yeah, the pressure that Winnipeg's defense is under, especially down below the goal line in their own end to make a play, has been noticeable in this game. They've been hurried and pressured, and there's been sticks in lanes preventing them from getting to where they want to go. And even when they've tried to run just a little bit of a reverse, come up ice and then drop it back to give yourself some time, Buffalo seemingly has been able to get a stick on that, staying in Winnipeg's D's back pocket.
Matthias Samuelson will send it in toward the corner on a face-off win. Winnipeg will try to amble after it to the near side. Came back toward the line, held again. Samuelson far side, pressured by Perfetti, sends it around. First one on it are a couple of Sabres. They put it back toward the line again. Darlene will drop it now. High slot. Jordan Greenway trying to pass back door to the far side for Samuelson, creeping in. That was wide. Skewered off the boards there by Stanley. Tried to get it out. It's kept in. Darlene on the far side. Now we're going to get a fight. Stanley's grabbed somebody at center ice. The gloves have come off. And Stanley threw a right hand in on somebody. And then Nemestikov comes in. And he's grabbed Beck Malenstein. They go down. And there's all sorts of chaos going on right at center ice. And I'm not sure what Stanley was so upset about, but the gloves came off as he went after Peyton Krebs. And Nemestikov has Melanstein down now at the Buffalo blue line, and they get Krebs and Stanley off the ice, and the linesmen have to come back to separate Melanstein and Nemestikov. And there'll be some penalties and likely ejections out of that.
Yeah, Logan Stanley's already gone down the tunnel. I don't think he liked the hit Krebs put on Perfetti, and I'm wondering if I was trying to get a good look on that replay if Krebs did get any head contact or not, but you as a teammate, you see Perfetti's body kind of do that spin, almost helicopter-like thing when they go down to the ice, and immediately you're going to jump to his defense.
Straighten it all out.
7, Buffalo 29. They each have 10-minute misconducts. Winnipeg 64 has 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct.
So Winnipeg will be shorthanded out of all of that when we come back. 6 minutes left in this third period. 5-1 for the Sabres. You're listening to Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey on the radio home of the Jets, Power 97 and 680 CJOB.
Connecting Winnipeg with Hal Anderson.
Enter Hal Anderson, savvy radio broadcaster, beloved by and many of his closer friends.
Weekdays from 10 to noon on 680 CJOB.
After some time on the road, your Winnipeg Jets are home, facing off against the Buffalo Sabres for some Friday night hockey. December 5th at 6 inside Canada Life Center. Grab your tickets while they last at winnipegjets.com/tickets. That's winnipegjets.com/tickets. Jets versus Sabres, December 5th.
Oh, baby!
Betting with Play Now Sports feels like going from the bench to the starting lineup. Make every game feel like the big game with Play Now, Manitoba's own legal gambling site. Local, legal, secure. 18 plus, enjoy responsibly.
Mike here for Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools. We asked our customers why they shop with us, and here's what they had to say.
Convenience on my main tools, Makita, Milwaukee, Rigid.
It's definitely the staff. They're the best of anywhere that I go.
Because all the guys and gals on the counter speak my language and they know what I want.
It's as close to one shop stopping as I will get.
Shop where the professional tradespeople shop. You're always welcome at Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, 1557 King Edward Street.
The official sports betting partner of the Winnipeg Jets. This is Play Now Winnipeg Jets hockey.
So it's a power play for Buffalo. Stanley 2 and 10. Nemestikov and Melanstein 10 each. So we have some players that are finished for the night. 5-1. Buffalo is in front. They go on power play number 3. They're 1 for 2 tonight. We get a face-off to the right of Thomas Milic. This one is unraveled on Winnipeg, seemingly from about the 3:01 mark of the first period. Jets with a draw, and they stuff it off the glass and send it all the way down the ice. Owen Power back in behind his own net, emerges, comes out to the far side, big long drop. Now for Ryan McLeod, saunters his way through that neutral ice, got chopped off the puck, but it stays inside the zone. Jack Quinn will carry it into where the corner. Rolled off a check, wins a battle. Quinn rolled it around to the near side, back up toward the point for Alex Tuck onto the far side. Again now for Samuelson. His shot goes wide. Scurrying to it, a couple of Sabres. It's wrapped around the boards by McLeod. Far side for Quinn. Quinn for Tuck. Tuck protecting the puck. Tuck back toward the line. Controlled by Power to the near side for McLeod. McLeod rink wide on the far side for Quinn. Darting right into the high slot. Lost the puck, but there to nab it is Power. Power back onto the far side. Played down low for Tuck. Tuck kicks it from his skate to his stick. DeMello in on him. Tuck trying to roll off the boards. In to help out is Jack Quinn. Kicked it free now again for Bowen Byram. Back toward the line for Power. Power slings it toward the net off his stick. Never got through. Bounced into where the corner. Collected again by Buffalo. Sabres control back up top. Power to the near side here for Ryan McLeod. McLeod back for Power on the far side. Power got taken off the puck slightly, but managed to fight it again with that long reach. Goes rink wide for Bowen Byram. Far side again for Ryan McLeod. Tried to pass it into where the corner. Fanned on that. Grabs it again, though. Twirling into where the corner. Down low out in front for Byram. Moving and shooting. And it's stopped by Milic. And it bounces off of his blocker and out towards center ice. 15 seconds to go in the power play. Owen Power across the line. Power trying to roll off a check there. Sandberg rimmed it around back toward the line here. Now it's kept in at the line by Quinn. Cast it off into where the corner. After to the near side. Here is Lowry. Penalty is now over. Winnipeg will send it down. Niederreiter with the puck across that Buffalo line. That pushed against the boards and double teamed. Managed to get it in deep though. And now Benson goes after it and sends it back in behind his own net for Owen Power, who was out there for the entire 2-minute power play. And the puck will fall back inside that Winnipeg end.
A couple of the Jets killers were also out there for the entire 2 minutes, as they could only get 2 of them off the ice off that initial clear. So Adam Lowry had nothing left in the tank to move that puck up ice. He just kind of left it for his teammate. Was like, I got to get out of here. It was a heck of a PK shift for the Winnipeg Jets there.
Luke Shen will shoot it right back in. So 1 for 3 with the man advantage for Buffalo. We're down to 3:10 remaining in this third period. 5-1 for the Sabres. Millardy will try to hold the line, cannot. Sabres are just swarming Winnipeg every time they go after a puck. Miller backpedals back inside his own zone. Cast it to the near side again for Millardy. Millardy steps off the boards, rink wide now for DeMello. Softly played into where the corner. Under 3 minutes remaining. Lead pass at center ice for Josh Doan. Doan scurries down along the boards and will send it around to the far side for Greenway back in behind that Winnipeg net. Greenway got stick lifted there by DeMello. DeMello wins the battle against Doan as well. DeMello trying to knock it up along the boards. There's Taves to come away with it. Taves will leave it now for Velarde into where the middle for Connor, and Connor will send it back inside his own zone. And Sandberg out towards center. Pass it off to the near side for Taves. Flop down inside the zone. We'll get a stoppage of play with 2:19 remaining in this third period. 5-1 for the Sabres. And did Mark Scheifele miss a shift there?
He might have, just because of how long things went on one sequence, because I definitely saw Connor and Velarde come out. But that last sequence with Dylan DeMello in the corner has kind of been exactly what the Jets D's been facing all night. He wins one battle against one Sabre. He turns around. There's another one he's got to contend with.
Right. Been that way all night. Peyton Krebs. Outlets at far side. Jason Zucker with a goal tonight. He got it started. Knocked it inside the Winnipeg end. And it's hit off of that Pacioretty glass at the Jets bench. We'll get a stoppage of play. 2:03 remaining. Third period, 5-1 for the Sabres. These two teams will do it again on Friday night in Winnipeg. And I believe that's a 6 o'clock start.
I do believe so. I'd have to look that up. Of course, the handy-dandy Winnipeg Jets app and winnipegjets.com is the place to go for all that information.
Face off to the right of Milic. Winnipeg wins the draw. They try to get it around the boards, but it's a weak attempt off a stick. And they'll fight for it into where the corner. Under 2 minutes remaining. Up along the wing, and they kick it out to the weak side. DeMello steers it inside the zone, but he made a move to his right and caused Morgan Barron to be in ahead of the play, and offside will be the call against the Jets. 5-1 for the Sabres. They're out shooting Winnipeg 28-21. Shots on goal totals are for Dr. J's Men's Sexual Health Clinic. Need to perform better in the bedroom? See the top-rated doctor on Google and rate MD. Visit Dr. J at winnipegclinic.com.
Confirming 6 p.m. on Friday.
The reason that stood out is I looked at it, adjusted for us being in the Eastern time zone, and still said to myself, it seems odd, but especially for a Friday night. Saturday night, for sure.
Yes.
You could see a 6, but a Friday night. Puck is bounced down on top of Jukka-Pekka Luukkonen. And he will gobble that up, and then pushing and shoving in front of him. Niederreiter involved there. Barron on the far side. Greenway comes in, and he'll play policeman as well. Everybody separates. 1:25 remaining in the third period. 4-goal lead for Buffalo. Yeah, so these two teams again Friday night in Winnipeg, 6 p.m. Central Time.
And for Winnipeg there, because you're going to be playing in Edmonton on a back-to-back, you'll take every hour you can get there to be able to give yourself as much time to recover. But be interesting to hear what the Jets say about this one.
Slap shot from the point by Miller, and that's the reason for the early start as well, is because Winnipeg is going back-to-back. Off the rush, tuck shot goes off the shoulder there of Milic. Kicked in toward the corner. Winnipeg got it out towards center ice and then set right back in. 1:05 remaining in this third period. Jets are going to suffer another loss of the road here. This is game number 10 of the last 13 for Winnipeg on the road. It'll be 11-14 Wednesday night in Montreal. Back across the line, drop pass, moving right in, shot, stopped by Milic. That came off the stick of the defenseman and the captain, Rasmus Dahlin. Kick back toward the line, Quinn, near side, Samuelson, slap shot, right pad save made by Milic. 35 seconds to go in the hockey game. Up top again for Quinn. Quinn to the near side corner. Cross-ice pass, bounced off a stick. Kept alive here by Buffalo. Quinn into toward the corner, looking to pass it. Trying to get it out in front, broken up by Lowry. Outlet it far side for Nyquist. Nyquist will carry it inside that Buffalo end. Shoot! And it's off of the stick and blocker partially of Luukkonen. And it cascades in toward the meshing and out of play with 14.5 seconds remaining in this third period.
Was thinking in my head about what a positive could have been for Winnipeg, and if Nyquist scores